Hello and welcome to News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice, coming up in the next few minutes. First batch of Ghanaian evacuees from South Africa express appreciation to government as the state promises to help them resettle in Ghana. Also on the program this morning, Attorney General backs Supreme Court case seeking to end party delegate system in suit filed by three eminent Ghanaians. And much later on the program, health officials warn flooding in Accra could trigger deadly waterborne diseases amid poor sanitation clogged drainage systems. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, from toddlers to the aged, to the weak and the strong, these Ghanaians have left the past behind them to chart a new course for their future. The first batch of Ghanaians fleeing the dangerous streets of South Africa have arrived home to a warm reception led by the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, and Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, and have been promised resettlement assistance by the government. Martin Esiedudate was at the airport to witness this occasion that has got the continent talking.
The sense of relief was palpable. These Ghanaians, the first batch of over 800 willingly fleeing South Africa, described horrific scenes and experiences they had to endure in South Africa.
Yes, I've experienced it so many times. I've been I've been hijacked before, and I've been shot upon, and they took my car from me, and then I still got a bullet rightly in my spine, and which they failed to take it out. So those are some of my experiences which I encounter in South Africa.
South Africa for no more tatai, no more boy. Introduce baby no say ye feel my name. And in Penifua, adi omoye maya ye ni dia omodi privacy o say ye nyina yem follow ni emla o maya die. Nyamin shira.
Some were visibly distraught that their years in South Africa had to end this way, whereas they were full of praise for government intervention to safely evacuate them out of harm's way. These compatriots said they feel safer now that they are back home.
I was attacked 2020, I forgot the date, but it was 2 years ago. They arrested me and my child, this little girl, when she was 2 years old, for this passport issue in South Africa.
Chief of Staff Julius Debra noted that government will ensure they are properly resettled and given the necessary assistance.
Most importantly, we want to encourage our brothers and sisters, once they are back home, they should be very optimistic and hopeful about the future. Because I believe sincerely that sometimes God has different ways of opening new doors. And so let's be very optimistic. As a nation, we shall always stand by our people, no matter where you find us.
Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa used the opportunity to reiterate the point that no Ghanaian will ever be left behind, irrespective of where they may be around the world.
Today, the Mahama administration is demonstrating that wherever Ghanaians are, we will make sure you are protected, your dignity is respected, and we will go to the length of this world to bring you back home safely.
It was all joy and jubilation written on the faces of the first 300 Ghanaians who have fled the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. They have arrived to a rousing welcome by the many Ghanaians who were at the airport to welcome them. The next batch, we are told, are expected hopefully by Sunday or this weekend when they get to join their compatriots on the motherland. Like they say, there is no place like home. We'll update you when the next batch or the subsequent team do arrive in Ghana. Martin Esiedudate from the Accra International Airport for TV3 News.
Indeed, no place like home. Now, Jamaica's Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith says promoting arts, culture and tourism will strengthen bilateral cooperation between Jamaica and Ghana. She spoke during a courtesy call on Okuapehene Osadieyo Kwesi Akufo at his palace in Ekropong.
Ghana and Jamaica have maintained long-standing historical and cultural ties spanning generations, rooted largely in the transatlantic slave trade era. For the people of Ikuapem in the Eastern region, these connections are even more significant due to the historical settlement and interactions of descendants with Jamaican heritage on the Ikuapem Ridge, creating cultural bonds. Jamaica's Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, who also serves as Ikuapem's Diaspora Tourism Queen Mother, emphasized that stronger economic, cultural, and diplomatic relations between Ghana and Jamaica remain essential in deepening cooperation and creating opportunities for mutual development.
It will serve to enhance the bilateral cooperation between both of our countries. That our agenda for increased cooperation includes the arts, culture, and tourism. It's important to lay the foundations between us to share pathways and create pathways and practices that can be shared between our peoples.
Commended Jamaica's Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, for her contributions to international diplomacy, trade, and foreign policy. He also encouraged members of the African diaspora to reconnect with their ancestral roots and explore opportunities that strengthen cultural identity and development partnerships with Ghana.
I believe the diaspora is the new thing right now, is the new trend. We all need to find our way back home. We are coming to Jamaica. We can be able to pull our friends and our brothers and sisters back. We always see the fight for humanity through foreign policies and trade.
Now, President John Mahama has called for peace, tolerance and national unity while warning against extremism, political intolerance, tribal division and drug abuse among the youth. He was addressing the national celebration to mark Eid al-Adha at the Black Star Square in Accra.
The Black Star Square was alive with color, prayer and reflection as Muslims gathered for the national Eid al-Adha celebration. But beyond the prayers and the sacrifice, the celebration carried a broader national message. Traditional rulers, Christian clergy, Muslim leaders, and state officials were all present, once again demonstrating Ghana's long-standing culture of religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence. Addressing the gathering, John Dramani Mahama said, Ghana's reputation as a country of religious tolerance must not be taken for granted. He warned that extremism, political intolerance, and tribal divisions could weaken the very foundation of the country's peace.
The message of Eid is particularly important in today's world, where many societies are facing division, intolerance, violence, and conflict. It's not the meat that you slaughter or the blood that is spilled that will reach Allah. What will reach Allah is your heart. I urge all Ghanaians, irrespective of religion or ethnicity, to continue promoting peace, tolerance, understanding, and mutual respect. As we celebrate Eid al-Adha, let us reaffirm our commitment to the values of sacrifice, peace, compassion, humility, generosity, and national unity.
The president also praised the national chief imam, Sheikh Usman Nuhu Sharabutu, describing him as a symbol of humility, compassion, simplicity, and peace building. He urged Ghanaians, especially the youth, to learn from his example while cautioning them against drug abuse.
As Muslims, we are guided by the teachings and examples of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whose life embodied mercy, humility, honesty, kindness, and justice. We're also blessed in Ghana to have the enduring example of our revered national chief imam, Sheikh Dr. Osman Nuhu Shaributu, whose life continues to inspire all Ghanaians through his humility, his compassion, his simplicity, his tolerance, and his peace building. I especially encourage our young people to remain disciplined, law-abiding, and responsible citizens. I urge you to also avoid drug addiction. Our nation needs young people who are focused on education, skills, hard work, entrepreneurship, and service to humanity.
As the prayers ended and greetings were exchanged, the message from the Black Star Square was clear. Eid al-Adha may be an Islamic celebration, but in Ghana, it also remains a national symbol of sacrifice, peace, and togetherness.
Some more here, and the Attorney General's Department has filed its argument in support of a case at the Supreme Court seeking to abolish the delegate system in political party primaries and allow all registered party members to vote. A Deputy Attorney General has said. Now, the anti-delegate system suit was filed at the Supreme Court by former Minister Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, former Minister under the Rawlings administration Christina Mwakuniama, and founding member of the New Patriotic Party and statesman Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo. Now, the trio who filed the case are represented by lawyer and activist Oliver Baka Vomawo. The plaintiffs are asking the Apex Court to declare that all registered members of political parties in good standing should be allowed to vote in internal party primaries rather than maintaining the current delegate system in which selected representatives vote. In a Facebook post, Deputy Attorney General Justice Shremsai described the case as one of the most significant constitutional matters in the country's Fourth Republic. Dr. Shremsai said that the state had filed arguments in support of the plaintiff's position. He also noted that the department believes that the declaration, if made by the Supreme Court, will considerably improve Ghana's democracy in many ways. The Deputy Attorney General said that the Attorney General's Department supports the argument that expanding voting rights within political parties could strengthen Ghana's democratic system. The delegate system has been criticized by some who argue that it concentrates power in the hands of a few delegates and increases the risk of vote buying and manipulation. The government has announced an extended ban on styrofoam takeaway packs and environmentalists say the ban could help reduce pollution and choked drains. But beyond the ban is the menace of single-use plastics and the fear that the desired outcome of the ban may not be achieved. Grace Hamwajiman has the rest of the story.
Styrofoam or takeaway packs have become a popular means of packaging food and fruits in Ghana's fast-growing food business. From wache joints to office lunch spots, the packs have made carrying food easier for millions of Ghanaians. But the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, says from January 2027, Ghana will ban the production, importation, sale, distribution and use of styrofoam takeaway packaging nationwide. The move, according to the EPA, is to reduce plastic pollution, improve sanitation and protect public health.
We have come to a point where we are ready to roll it out. But we also understand that stakeholders need time to put together the alternatives to this packaging and the use of these styrofoam products. So we have given up to 1st of January to have it completely off the market, off our homes in the country.
The announcement has been greeted with varied reactions among consumers, food vendors and other stakeholders.
Because park
we welcome a ban on takeaway because of the health implication in using them. Me, I even prefer eating from the leaves because it's safe and nutritious.
I'm not Ghana too much.
The packs generate a lot of waste and it makes the environment dirty, so a ban is appropriate.
The EPA has directed manufacturers, importers, distributors, retailers, food vendors and institutions to start moving to reusable, recyclable and environmentally friendly alternatives. Ghana generates approximately 1.1 million tons of plastic waste annually, according to the World Bank report. Alarmingly, only 5% of this is recycled, highlighting the dangers of single-use plastics in the country. Single-use plastic products are used once or for a short period of time before being thrown away. The impact of this plastic waste on the environment and our health is drastic. These plastics, including water bottles, straws, sachet packs, and polythene bags, end up in open spaces, landfills, water bodies, and gutters. Co-founder of environmental CSO Eco-Conscious Citizens, Aula Sewa, says the devastation from single-use plastics demand an emergency intervention, including a ban.
We've been asking for a ban on single-use plastics. So, for example, your plastic bags. We've been advocating that when you are going shopping, always have a recyclable or a biodegradable bag so that you don't have to take plastic bags. The plastics, it's a real emergency. Even the fishermen complain that a lot of the time the fish have ingested the plastics. And we also know that these microplastics are dangerous. Research has found out that we have been ingesting it, and it's even in our bodies, and some of it has reached our brain. So it's a very difficult situation. It is dangerous. And it's the duty of duty bearers to protect the citizenry.
She advocates a realistic sanctions regime for defaulters.
Well, I mean, I hope it will be enforced because, usually in Ghana, we are allergic to enforcement. There are so many things, so many rules and regulations, but our challenge is enforcing. So obviously, if you've banned it, then where you go and they are being used, the items are seized and the persons having them are prosecuted. It's as simple as that. How else can you enforce the ban? If you've given notice and you've said that from this date they shouldn't be there, then they shouldn't be imported into the country in the first place.
Plastics entered Ghana in the late 1990s, with some close to 120 companies manufacturing over 52,000 tons of various plastics and plastic products per year. Grace Hamwajiman, TV3 News, Accra.
In a separate development, flood waters are once again swallowing homes, roads and businesses across parts of Accra as Ghana enters another dangerous rainy season, reviving fears of a looming public health crisis. Health experts warn that the worsening floods could trigger outbreaks of cholera, typhoid, malaria and other waterborne diseases if urgent preventive measures are not enforced.
The Ghana Meteorological Agency has warned that rain-induced flooding could worsen between June and July as heavy rains continue to pound southern Ghana.
We built structures, we paved our homes, we built roads, buildings and the like. So this water cannot percolate into the soil. The drainage that we have to are narrowed. We are trying to expand the drainage from the Gary project, but we will not be able to exhaust all. So when it rains, you have a lot of flash floods. It is not because the rains in Accra are heavier than the rains in Takoradi or Axim, but because those areas, when they build, at least they leave a place where it's bare. So when it rains, the water will percolate into it.
Public health officers fear the flooding conditions are creating a perfect breeding ground for disease outbreaks. Stagnant water, open drains, choked gutters and contaminated food and water sources significantly increase the risk of cholera infections, particularly in densely populated communities with poor sanitary conditions. Health experts say children, the elderly and persons living in overcrowded settlements remain the most vulnerable.
Public should be concerned about flooding because it leads to cholera and malaria outbreaks. Looking at what happens in 2024, cholera outbreak in Ghana recorded about 1,726 suspected cases in 36 districts, with 131 confirmed cases and 16 deaths in the Greater Accra alone, which shows that Greater Accra is an epicenter when it comes to cholera outbreak. Flood waters mostly mix with sewage and poor sanitation, making cholera outbreak highly likely in Accra. The risk is imminent. Cholera can spread within days of flooding if contaminated water is consumed.
The warning comes as Ghana continues to recover from the country's most recent cholera outbreak, which began in late 2024 and spread rapidly across several regions. According to figures presented to Parliament by the Health Ministry, Ghana recorded more than 6,100 cholera cases and 49 deaths as of February 2025, after the outbreak spread across the Greater Accra, Central, Western, Eastern and Ashanti regions. Public health officials are now urging residents in flood-prone areas to boil drinking water, avoid consuming exposed food, maintain proper hand-washing hygiene, and immediately report symptoms such as severe diarrhea and vomiting to the nearest health facility. Environmental health officers are also warning against dumping of refuse into gutters and waterways, describing the practice as one of the major causes of flooding in Accra. Beyond cholera, stagnant floodwaters are also expected to increase cases of malaria as mosquitoes breed rapidly in waterlogged communities.
Mosquito population can increase up to 3 times within 2 weeks of stagnated waters. And given Accra's history, outbreaks are not hypothetical at all. They are imminent, and it is something that we need to prepare, which we are really putting our hands together to ensure that we put in measures to curtail it.
Typhoid fever, skin infections and respiratory diseases are also expected to rise if drainage systems remain clogged and sanitation conditions deteriorate further. For many residents, the fear is no longer only about losing property to floods, but also surviving the dangerous diseases that often follow. As the rains intensify, authorities face mounting pressure to improve drainage systems, enforce sanitation laws, and intensify public education before the flooding crisis escalates into another deadly health emergency. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
297 Ghanaians from South Africa following the xenophobic attacks. And we saw how emotional some of them were. Some of them shared their experiences, some very harrowing as well. There's a woman who indicated that she had been arrested with her 2-year-old child because of visa issues, immigration challenges as well. There's a young man, well, I don't know if I should call him young or old, but he also showed us bruises on his back, and he said he had been attacked several times by some South African residents just for being Ghanaian and for living in South Africa. We saw a number of other people as well. Another man who said that a bullet was lodged in his spine, and that's from an attack that he suffered earlier. He's been in South Africa for about 16 years, so he's happy to be back home. And so many stories, but of course pointing in one direction. Ghanaians living in South Africa, some unfortunately without the right documents, some were told had the right documents. And yesterday there was also a video that came from the Home Affairs Office in South Africa where an official indicated that out of the 297 or 300 people that were coming to Ghana yesterday, only 10 of them had the right documents. But we had an exclusive conversation with the High Commissioner, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa yesterday on Ghana Tonight. Alfred Okansi was able to speak to His Excellency Kwashi, and he said that that was actually wrong information put out by the Home Affairs official, because as far as he's concerned, and he was the front runner in getting these Ghanaians back home and getting them screened in South Africa before they came, he said 80% of those who came yesterday actually had the right documents. It was only about 20% of them who did not have the right documents. And he said that at the right time, they were going to put out the facts, and he's entreating this Home Affairs official as well to put out his facts, because he's very sure that in the coming days, this official from South Africa will be retracting that statement that's caused a lot of talk on social media, a lot of confusion as well as to whether we had a lot more illegal migrants in South Africa from Ghana. And so we'll be borrowing into that matter on the big issues, taking a look at exactly what is next for these 297 Ghanaians who have come to Ghana. And this is just the first batch. We're expecting a lot more on Sunday and hopefully another one in subsequent days. We're told that totally we have about 25,000 Ghanaians who live in South Africa at the moment, but just about 826 of them registered their indication that they wanted to come back to Ghana, and they registered with the High Commission in South Africa. And so we'll be looking at that. There was a woman who was so emotional. I mean, she wept. I wish I could have a conversation with her just to understand her thought processes at that time when she realized she had finally landed in Ghana and was back home safe and sound. And we had a lot more children on the flight. We had mothers. And His Excellency Kwashi also indicated that they gave priority to mothers, to children, and to persons with disability, persons who were unwell. And so that's why you find a lot of them on the first flight. But beyond that, there were some 26 Ghanaians who were also in prison in South Africa for immigration issues. And that's the shot on your screen right now. And so they were able to lobby to get all 26 out of prison and back in Ghana. Initially, he said that the South African government indicated that they were going to release only 10 out of the 26, but they were still able to judge, or they were able to negotiate, and eventually the South African government agreed to release all 26 of these Ghanaians who had been imprisoned for immigration issues. So we'll get into that as well and understand. But this is a video that was recorded by some Ghanaians in South Africa. I don't know if we can maybe up the volume a bit so we listen to what they had to say, because there was one woman who saw that I think she recognized two of the people, and she got emotional as a result of that because she hadn't seen them since they were arrested. So I'll let you take a listen and then we'll continue the show.
Oh mama, she perform magana for I dear Mufi pleasing Shema Bessia. Ah, oh, very proud. Hey, yeah. Kwabi, rather, Kwabi, Kaho, and Papa, I used to come rather than I want to form. Aye. Miracle. Oh, my emery. Oh, my emery. Oh, my emery. My emery. Oh, my noble in there.
Very unfortunate happenings in South Africa, but thank God these 26 prisoners were also included in the first batch of evacuees from South Africa, and they all landed in Ghana yesterday, and so we thank God for their lives. Joining me in the morning on the show this morning is Cookie, and I mean, this is heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking.
I don't know what to make of it.
I know.
And I've seen comments from a lot of South Africans on social media. I don't know what to make of it.
One of the very popular ones going around is that of Jacinta. You know, the original lady who was speaking when this whole thing attacked, when the Ghanaian boy, the very first gentleman who arrived in the country. Yes, and when you listen to the video, I think we have it. She said, I don't know if you've played it already.
No, we haven't.
But she's saying that we Ghanaians are overreacting.
Yeah.
And how do you call this overreaction? And she says that we are making a social media show of this whole xenophobic attack, Ghana moving back to, evacuees moving back to Ghana and all of that. And I'm thinking, why would you even think that Ghana is overreacting? Is it because we are the first African country who are really taking their people out of the country, or you're trying to tell us that it's actually not happening? There are videos everywhere. There's evidence everywhere. And yesterday, you remember one of the older, I think he was a very old man when he doesn't even remember. Exactly. And the person was asking the question, said, when I left, you were a child. And I don't even remember how long I've been there. And he says he's going back to Sunyani. I'm just thinking how the whole difference and the shift would be for him. But Professor Entry was also speaking on Ghana Tonight yesterday, and he's encouraged friends and family that accept them, welcome them, let them come and integrate properly into the country, because Ghana is ours. We don't have anywhere else. This is our home country. So if they are coming, welcome them and let them come and be comfortable. But there's a question on my mind. You know, the government has promised some packages, you know, so integration packages, work opportunities and all of that. But looking at the number of youth and the general public who are unemployed in this country, and we are adding these numbers, how feasible and possible is it going to be to get proper employment for all these people? Because we have a backlog already of about 14-point-something% that we are dealing with already. And if we are adding this, where are the jobs coming from? Are we integrating them into security services? Because most of them are well able-bodied young men, you know. So where are these job opportunities? And if we're also talking about packages for them to restart lives in Ghana, how much exactly are we talking about? Is it realistic? And is it going to be sustainable? Is government going to say, okay, so for the first 3 months or for the rest of the year, which is 6 months, we're going to give you packages, and then from next year, you start to fend for yourself. I'm really interested in what these packages would look like. But yes, we do have that video we're just talking about, the lady who started this whole thing, the lady who went viral. Just take a look at what she said.
Government really overreacted. I think it's disappointing, man. I think we've had a lot of respect for Ghana as a country and for the people of Ghana, and we still do. But for them to react in the way that they did is largely dishonest, because for them to claim that there were people who were beaten up when they know there were no people beaten up, and for the Minister of Police to even echo that is absolutely ridiculous. What we saw in that video was Victoria Africa talking to someone who had broken the laws of the country, come in illegally, come in legally and stay illegally, which is something a lot of foreign nationals do. And instead of them addressing that issue in a correct manner, to say, listen, we noted that there's a citizen of ours who is in the country, so broken the laws, these are our concerns, etc., they decided to do a whole PR exercise that would paint South Africa as xenophobic. Very disappointing. And now we've got a lot of these Ghanaians on television actually telling us how they got into the country. Many of them are saying, I'm here in South Africa and I came on a visitor's visa, I'm staying here now.
Very interesting. And, you know, I mean, she's also facing the law in her country at the moment. I saw a video this morning where she says that their version of Shraj has asked her to come and answer questions as to why she's leading the xenophobic attacks in South Africa with their movement. The backpack movement is what they call it. And so she's asking for South Africans to support her in fighting for their rights, because she doesn't understand why their Shraj has turned their backs on South Africans and are rather supporting illegal migrants, as she keeps saying. And I don't even get it. But back to the question that you asked about whether we're going to be able to sustain the support we're giving to them and if we have jobs. It's the main problem at this point, because you speak to a number of them and you ask them, why did you leave the country? Why did you have to go through probably the deserts, go through other means to get in the country? And it's always because they didn't have jobs. So that's where the challenge is. So yes, we're supporting our people. It's very important. And when they need us the most, we have to be there for them. But we need to have a broader conversation as Ghanaians, that what is the long-term plan for jobs in the country? Because if we're able to create a sustainable, a good environment for our Ghanaians, then a lot of us will not need to travel out of the country just to go find greener pastures. And one of the gentlemen we spoke to on Monday said it. We asked him, why did you leave? He said, because of greener pastures. He was going to look for an opportunity. There was even a teacher who says he has all the licenses that he needs to be able to teach in Ghana. But he was sent to South Africa. And now he's willing to come back and even go to any part of the country to go and teach. As long as he is, you know, assured of jobs and a good salary as well. So they're ready to do it. But what is the challenge? Are we creating a convenient environment for Ghanaians? It's a very important question.
Very important. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with government support for the evacuated Ghanaians, well, government has promised welcome home financial packages, and that's what we are asking. How much is it going to be? How long is it going to be? And how sustainable is that also going to be? There's also transportation assistance to various destinations. That old man who disembarked yesterday said he was going to Sunyani. How much are they giving him? Or seeing as he's a little immobile, is government going to give him a private car to take him to Sunyani, or is it going to be via public transport? These are the questions that we are asking. And then reintegration allowance. I want to understand also how many months would this be for, or how many years is it going to be for? We are very interested. And we are asking free psychological support also for them. And then entry into special database for jobs and startup opportunities. Bella, do we have an existing database for people already looking for jobs in the country?
I believe so.
Okay, so this one is going to be a special database for all these people. Well, out of the 21,000 Ghanaians who live in South Africa right now, 25,000 now. Okay, so I think the numbers are coming up as we're collecting data. So it was 21,000, now 25,000. We are told that 800 of them have registered and are going through processes to come back home. Yesterday, we had 277 of them, because it was short of 3. There was a lady who could not get a permit from her husband to come with her 2 children. So the 300 number was short of 3 people. So that's what, 297, yes. 297 people who came in yesterday. Now, if all these 800 make it to Ghana, and I can just imagine that now that they've seen that government is really evacuating them, the numbers would go high. What's the plan to sustain this special database for jobs? And what are these jobs going to be? These are the questions that we're asking this morning. We'll be activating the phone lines in no time. But another headache that we're also encountering in this country is the Wager Dam spillage. This has become almost a seasonal debate here in this country. Every single time the rains intensify, especially from the eastern region, Koforidua, and the upper catchment areas. Well, in the past, we've seen government issue communiques for community members to evacuate or go to safer grounds before the dam spillage happens. But we are seeing very terrible scenes from Weja, and I believe that the MP for the area, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, will be joining us this morning for a conversation. We'll be activating the phone lines in no time. I think we take the montage now, and then we can switch to activate the phone line so you can also be a part of the conversation.
On a regular basis. Previously he used to, but until an individual volunteered and solved the larger problem at the edge of the water body, it slowed down drastically. But since that happened close to 10 years now, this is the second time. The first time was October 2022, and this is the second time that we're coming this close.
And how severe or how bad is this really?
I think coming events cast their shadows before them. You can see from these two lenses connecting. If the three connecting means the movement in this community will be obstructed. Will come. And so that's why you can see a lot of people moving out. Because once the three lines are connected, it becomes difficult.
So roughly how many homes have this affected from where you are standing behind you?
You are looking at about almost 300, 500 houses average. Or less. It should be more. 300, 500 average homes. The volume of displacement is quite high. If you came about 30 minutes later, you'd have seen a lot of people evacuating with their belongings out of the community. So many people have moved out of their vehicles. Others have rented trucks to all the. As you can see, me myself, I'm on my way up.
Have the authorities been here yet? Were you informed prior to the spillage?
I don't remember hearing anything. I don't remember seeing anything. We've not been told anything. We just saw water rushing out. You have to take precautions first. So that's what is happening. But we have not seen. I've not seen NADMO here. Let me not say we. Personally, I have not seen NADMO here. I have not heard any formal announcement to the effect that the place is being flooded. It would have ordinarily been a routine where it will be announced, but I have not heard any such announcement.
And how long do you think this will last?
The last time that it happened, it took 4 days for the water to recede for us to work, for life to return to normalcy. But now, I suspect the last time it was much harsher than this. So now I don't know what really to say, but I'm sure we need 2-3 days.
What's it fine? Na den esi twene ne onkasa kwekwan
dam na won emi so mebie tin so no ebu afaso akata ye dan ni so nyina sisi ani bi e kra adiem ko fa boat le family boat no mbi na me
nti nyama na wodem we pa na otimi ye
ba cho we pe
na nti sia we ni chai
na kwasha ko ma me
awe ma
ashama
nti wo dan no wo ye ndeng
me done away. They come to 5 days time, so never to 20 to Chiana. Mama be young ye.
All right, it is.
And we're still on the matter of the Weja Gbawe Dam spillage. And before we get into further conversations this morning, let me just give you a reminder of what this has been in the past. Well, if you're asking why there's a spillage all the time, the dam, which was built on the Dainsu River and operated by the Ghana Water Company, is extremely important because it supplies huge portions of water to Accra and surrounding communities. But once water levels rise or they go high, especially during the rainy season, of course, Ghana Water Company is not able to contain it, so they would have to open the dam for the water to spill. We've had a number of spillages in the past. There's been one in 2014, another in 2017, 2018, 2021, 2022. And I'm stressing 2022 because, but I remember that was the time where it was really bad. We saw residents and community members on canoes just trying to evacuate to safer grounds and to also salvage almost lost properties. And again, in 2025, we saw it. And in 2026, we are still battling with the Weja Dam spillage. Residents have been talking and they say that, yes, of course, they've seen a few works here and there, including dredging, but the dredging is inconsistent. It's not every time that you see works ongoing for them to see that, yes, there's a proper solution to the problem. They also complain that, yes, Ghana Water Company would tell them to evacuate, but sometimes the alerts and the warnings come way too late. What are your concerns? Do you have friends and family, or you yourself living in Wejagbawe? Have you been affected by this? Call us now and let's know what the situation is. But this mainly affects communities in Weja, Tetegu, Oblojo, Glefe, Botiano, Pambros, Lower McCarthy Hill areas, and other low-lying settlements downstream. These are all the areas that go through the dam spillage, of course, and the flooding almost every year. We've seen it all the years that I've mentioned, especially in 2022. Last year it happened again, and then this year, 2026, it's here. And I mentioned earlier, it's become a seasonal discussion. We always talk about it, but if a lot is not done or if much is not done, I can tell that we'll still have the same story next year. And you ask, what is happening? What are we doing as a people? Well, the very first caller is on the telephone lines already. You're welcome to TV3 Newday. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from, sir?
I'm Francis. I'm calling from Tema.
Okay, Francis. Do you have friends and relatives affected by the dam spillage in Weja or Bawe areas?
Oh, not really, but I've had the opportunity to stay there before.
Okay. So what was the situation when you lived there?
Also, when I was there, we never experienced spillage.
Which year was this?
Oh, that was somewhere 2013.
Okay. Because the spillage started from 2014, so I can understand you. But anyway, talk to us.
And now I want to say something small about the evacuees.
Okay.
Let's all Ghanaians have it on record that when we interview people and we ask them why did they leave the country, and they keep saying that it's because of greener pastures. Let me say it emphatically that there are a lot of people who migrate from Ghana not because they don't have any job to do in Ghana. Let me ask this: all the rich people in this country, where are their children? They are outside the country. Is it because they went to look for greener pastures? So people just have, the interest of traveling, not really knowing why they have to travel. It's just fun for them. It's just fun to travel because the money you will spend to travel out of this country can establish you. Now that these people are back, all the money that they may be expecting the government to give them or to support them to start something, I can tell you that it's going to be lower than what they spent traveling out of the country. What if they started something with that money until now? So, it's good the government has got them back. But let's educate people that it is good to stay in your country, find something doing, and then build your nation. Okay. Because when you subject yourself into this, and then all you have to do is to blame government, we are not going to have results for anything anytime soon.
Right.
Thank you very much.
You have a very valid point, and we thank you for your contribution this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is that Alaji on the line? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Alaji.
Kukiti.
Yes, Alaji.
Kukiti. How are you?
Very well, Alaji. How are you too?
I'm also good. How is Nashako?
Where's Nashako? She's on a little break. She'll be joining us soon. Nice on a little break. She'll be coming back soon.
Okay, and Beatrice?
Yes, she's Beatrice read the news this morning, so she's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me send that question to Shema and he has a large alasan and German for Ampofo. And President for Kokori Dwaman, the Chief Executive in Alabama, and Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Zebra. Kukiti,
Alaji.
when you look at some of our people who is traveling for outside this country, if me, I get opportunity to travel outside this country or not, because I like Ghana. I like to stay this country more than traveling. But let me tell you something. You see these South Africans, what they did to our people, killing some people and beating some people, it's not good. African country, love your neighbor. Why are we attacking each other? Like what you did for your country. If we also take different steps to attack your people, people will be happy. What kind of attitude is that? So I just want to ask some questions. African Union, what their views for this country? Because I saw some video, Julius Malema speaking against South Africans. He also trying to be a president for the country, and he said, if you don't like your black people, don't vote for me. It means that government is aware what is going on in the South Africa.
All right,
the South African government is aware. When I listen to Malema video, I just ask for myself. Because some police people protect them and they do that kind of nonsense. So let's look and find lasting solution to this our problem.
Okay. All right.
Issue, I think we need to look and find lasting solution to this problem because anytime rain starting and we have complaints. Anytime rain starting, we have complaints in this country. Why is this thing happening?
Okay.
Why?
Alaji, thank you very much. Bella, I'm told Collins is
all
on
right,
the
so
line.
Collins, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing as well?
By the grace.
All right.
I'm also doing
Which of the issues do you want to talk about? The Bagri dance village or?
I'm Amole in the Ganof municipal.
Okay. Talk to us.
Yes, Bella and Cookie, you are looking beautiful this morning.
You.
And you see the reason why we greet some of our friends is a lot of them listen to you. I'm telling you, and as I've been saying that, you are undisputed. TV3, everywhere TV3 is there. I'm telling you. So if you greet, just let us greet at least one or two people. I'll go straight to Nana Otudako, the host of Accra 100.5, inviting National Deputy Communication Officer for NDC and Peter.
Okay, so can you focus on the topic so we can get other people to speak?
South Africa issue. Look, it's only few that, okay. And these numbers that arrive is terrible. It's terrible. Look, they will go back. I'm telling you, they will go back. Mark this with my words. They will, after they come for, a lot of them are coming for visit. People are there struggling to come back to Ghana. Yeah? So look, if he said we are going in for them, some people too will just come and combine. Look at the numbers that are coming. 800. It's so small numbers. Eh? We that are here, we are not. We are feeling the heat. You understand? We are feeling the heat. Yes. So please, I'll beg my president and the entire the foreign minister and the top hierarchy that they should stop. They should stop. We didn't send anybody there. They go in for their business, their own personal business there. Though we know what happens there, but it's only a few, like 1, 2, 3. But it's too many. Why?
So if I may ask, why do you think they would go back? Because what, you don't think that the system here can absorb them properly?
Said you are a journalist in this country. Mark my words. At least by the end of this year, if you like, they will go back.
All right.
Yes, that's human nature and human behavior. Thank you, Bella.
Thank you so much. And we have another call on the line. Babaraman, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, madam.
Where are you speaking to us from?
Please, madam, I would like to start with our brother coming back from South Africa.
Okay.
We welcome them. They are our people, our sisters, our mothers, and our brothers. We have nothing to tell the South Africans but to tell them that we have accepted our families into our homes. As they said, we will do and fix our country. It's enough for us to tell South Africans their history. But it is still our duty to let South Africans know very well that even with our current condition of our country, we can do and still help them. Madam, this is the truth I'm coming to tell you. Some of us are mobilizing ourselves in a different way. Whilst our brothers are here, and South Africans are asking us to fix our country, we are going to make sure that all the South African companies that is here making money back to South Africa, the jobs that they are doing will be given to these our brothers and our sisters that is coming back. And therefore, they should prepare to close down their
Please relax.
offices.
So I understand if your, if tensions are high, but also remember that a number of these companies also employ a large number of Ghanaians. So we've been also cautioned that when we're asking to retaliate, we should understand that Ghanaians will be the ones to suffer the most in this case.
No problem. Ghanaians will be the one, because currently those that is coming back from South Africa are Ghanaians. People lost their life. They are Ghanaians. Whatever that is happening to our people out there, they are Ghanaians. We don't say that those who are here will not suffer. Yes, but I'm telling you that the 2 or 3 people that you are going to put in your company, please, if they are the majority shareholder, I think those who are coming, we can support them as a country. We can fix it our own and make sure that the money that they earn every annual to take back to their country and think that they are doing better than us, they are not doing better than us. Those who are coming back is also suffering. And sometimes when it gets to some level, you have to look at your people dying in South Africa. And your person who is sitting home working with a South African person, who is facing more, how do you call it? People lost their lives, my sister.
I understand.
And this is the time for us to let South Africa know that if they cannot control their youth in South Africa, it's the same thing our leaders cannot also control us. And whatever comes out of it, South Africa or anybody in this country shouldn't blame us. And we are starting it with, how do you call it?
All right.
MTN.
Thank you.
They are making money.
Thank you, sir.
MTN people in Ghana could not, in South Africa, could not also go and communicate with their leaders and let them know that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I would like us to exercise restraint beyond the fact that a lot of these companies have hired a number of Ghanaians to work for them. We're also told that about 25,000 Ghanaians live in South Africa. Now, we've only had 826 of them who have registered their interest in coming back home. So that leaves us probably another 20-something thousand who are living there. And if you monitor comments on social media from the South Africans especially, there are some threats that are coming in here and there based on the comments that we are making as well, because for them, they are saying that if we have only 800 who are leaving, they still have a high number of Ghanaians there. We don't want to start any retaliatory attacks on each other. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Let's allow the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our government to handle this the diplomatic way so that we can ensure the safety of all Ghanaians who still remain in South Africa, and also ensure that we don't increase the number of Ghanaians who become jobless in Ghana as well. And so just a little caution for us all. Please just be careful. As it stands now, we're told that some 1.3 million Ghanaians as at end of 2025 did not have a job. We don't want to compound that situation. So I understand that we're all very emotional about this, but please calm down and let the right authorities handle this. As I read as well, the government of South Africa says their security ministers are also in a crunch meeting trying to figure out how to address this issue. I think they've kept too long in addressing this matter, but are they going to do something about it? Let's wait and see, as we also allow our government to handle the matter. But I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, Peter.
Yeah.
Good morning, Peter T. Thank you so much for joining us. Talk to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So beautiful looking.
Thank
as
you.
Always.
Thank you.
Cookie T. This South Africa, in Ghana today, the Ghanaians there, I hope that they are here truly to justify their inclusion and reaffirm their support, to indicate that they are truly law-abiding citizens today, so that the tag that has been perpetrated to them, based on which today they have been repatriated to Ghana from South Africa, we want to ascertain the fact that they are the people that we can trust. Because you see, if they cannot allow activities that are not
or that are in conformity with, I think, our culture and tradition, it will affect us. Because you said something about job creation and difficulties that we are having today here. Their inclusion, what ratio is it going to cause? Because where we are today, Kukiti, we cannot get even our employment statistics right, which is making it difficult for current administration to be able to give opportunity to the youth that want to go into, especially the white collar job. The problem is here. So we beg government, if want to design projects that can reflect in their lives as they are staying here, because we don't want tomorrow there will be the same people to be saying that this government is not doing well. He has brought us, they have brought us, and they are not taking care of us. So we want to go back to South Africa, as one of your colleagues was just alluding to. We don't want to say that. Once they are here, any job opportunities, that is fine. I know by this time they all have their own jobs and businesses that they were doing in South Africa before coming here. So either they will embark into that job, or if government allows them into any sector that will create an opportunity for them to earn to make their ends meet, please, they should be there. We don't want them to spoil the record of this government because of their presence in Ghana today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. We have another caller, Cookie.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TV3 Newday. Michael, where are you calling us from?
Yes, I'm calling from Donkokrum.
Donkokrum?
Yes.
Great. Michael, which of the two issues on the table do you want to dissect this morning?
Please, about the South Africa one.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, please, I want to commend the government for bringing our friends and families back to us. It's a very good initiative done by the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and we commend them for that.
Right.
And one thing too is that we already have some backlogs here in the country, unemployment issues and all that.
Yeah.
But since they were in, let's say, sort of a issue or problem that caused this evacuation or something like that, I think they need to see to it that maybe they get them some packages that they can start up with and all that.
Okay.
But the goldfields matter that we are talking about, it has to be something that we all need to champion, because we can't allow them to take, if the Ghanaian takes over goldfields right now, the workers there will still be there and work. They are not going to sack the workers. So taking over goldfields is not a problem. It's just the ownership to be transferred to a Ghanaian, that we all will understand that this Ghanaian is the one that is operating the place.
All right.
So whatever proceed that is coming out of it is for a Ghanaian.
All right. Thank you.
The country is going to benefit from it.
Okay.
That's all that we want.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion this morning. Very well noted. That's what the show stands for. You can call in and voice out your opinions. A few messages here this morning, and one from Simon Yang in Wa says, good morning. It's shocking that South Africa has suddenly forgotten the role Ghana played in liberating them from apartheid. I don't know whether South Africa has paused for a moment to think of the repercussions of a reprisal attack on South Africans in Ghana. Thank God that we are more mature than them. Simon Yang sent in that one. Kenneth Salah Yusuf says, South Africa is operating a gold mine here in Ghana for almost 31 years. Their contract should be cancelled so these Ghanaians can get jobs there. In my opinion, Ghanaians should also close down the ShopRites and other African companies so people can get jobs. Well, I don't think that's the solution to the problem. Let's allow diplomacy to work. Sherry Giovanni says, we come to discuss about flooding in Wager, and the question is, are there not any permanent solutions to the flooding? Because this is discussed every year. Secondly, Ghanaians are naturally travelers. Therefore, the notion that they traveled to look for greener pastures could not be entirely true. Why not use your plane ticket fee to establish a small business? The government must keep close eyes on them. Good morning to Mr. Ahiawoji of Ave Dakpa. Okay, more messages. Irakwa Richard says, with Ghana spending heavily on food imports, agriculture remains one of the most practical ways for government to create jobs for Ghanaians and returning evacuees. Investing in farming and agribusiness can boost employment, strengthen food security, and reduce pressure on the economy. Hello, that's the question he's asking. Bella, if you don't have, I can go on with more. Do you have some?
Carry on.
Okay. Prince Nanaya York says, on the banter with the South Africans about xenophobia, I say no renewal for gold fields in 2027, so we'll fix our country and the companies. But on the wager spillage issue, why can't we bring in engineers to divert the excess water into dams further downstream? That way, it can be harnessed to support our farms and daily needs instead of causing distraction and harm. Praise Nanaya, thank you for that. Everything Good Ghana also says government should make sure every single Ghanaian is back home. We know what to do. The diplomatic people should handle the diplomatic process. We would also get jobs for our fellow Ghanaians. Okay. Landlord Bolga D-Line says it's time for South African government to consider xenophobia as a national security threat, because after the foreigners leave, these lazy thugs don't have skills to let alone manage their businesses. Hence, they are likely to target the rich and the politicians for survival. As for gold fields, our government should not renew their lease. It's a golden opportunity to use our gold to fix Ghana to create jobs for Ghanaians. I suggest government takes over the contract so that local miners can take over. All right. Thank you for your messages. Landlord, okay, I've read that one already. Do you have any, Bella?
Well, just to put out some statistics as well, because one of our earlier callers also talked about the fact that we've not been able to put together the right stats with regards to how many jobs are created and how many people don't have jobs. And so as at December 18, 2025, the Ghana Statistical Service put out some numbers with regards to how many people are unemployed. And it says that more than 1.3 million young Ghanaians were out of work, school, or training in the third quarter of 2025. Now, these 1.3 million people were told are aged between 15 and 24, and that represents 21.5% of the age cohort who were classified as not in education, employment, or training. And this highlights concerns about youth disengagement from productive economic activity. And so that's the situation as it stands now. It says beyond outright unemployment, labor underutilization also remains elevated. About 1 in 5 employed persons was underutilized, with the composite labor and utilization rate holding at 23% in the second quarter and edging up slightly to 23.4%. And so that gives you a proper picture, or it paints a proper picture of what the situation is like in the country at the moment. We're adding on more numbers. We don't have a choice because there are people, we need to find a way to absorb them. But beyond that, very same questions are being asked as well. That first of all, if we're going to absorb them and we're saying that we're going to get them into a database, what kind of jobs are we creating for them? Also, even for those who are already in the country, have we been able to find a way to get them proper employment opportunities as well? And how does this affect those who are already looking for jobs in the country? And then there are also others who are asking that maybe the ministry should also come out and give us exact figures as to how much it cost us to repatriate these people.
Oh, I know that will be coming up soon.
The country, because we need to know.
Yes.
It's very important that we bring them back home. But how is this also affecting the public purse?
I just know that question will be.
I mean, it's a fair question.
Of course, it's coming. It's coming. Yes.
Update us. We'll
start asking. You know, now I think the concentration is welcoming back them home and all of that. Once we are done with that, we'd have to get the books ready for accountability, and all of us are waiting to know how much it cost us to go through all these processes to bring them back. Anyway, Trey D says if the South African government is aware of xenophobic attacks but cannot deal with these, okay, I don't think I can read that one on air. It's not very refreshing to read on air, so I'll just leave it alone. All right, we are about to take a break, so we make way for the big issue. Remember to pack up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Peck milk shortcake. It is a pure delight. Please make sure you're sharing with your friends and
And you're welcome back. This is TV3 Newday. It's time now for the big issues. If you just joined us, good morning to you. I hope you're well. And, well, spread the word. We're also streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. You can join in and share your thoughts and opinions. And if you have any questions, you can drop them on there as well. And this morning, we're going deep into the issue concerning the return of some 297 Ghanaians who are part of the first batch of evacuees from South Africa following the xenophobic attacks. And very harrowing experiences shared by some of them. And of course, you could see from the arrival at the airport yesterday that they were relieved to finally be back home after staying there for many years, some as long as 15, 16, 20 years, and even more. In fact, there was a man, an older man, who said he could not even recollect when he left Ghana to go to South Africa. And he, jokingly said that even the journalist that asked him the question was probably a baby by the time that he left. He came back. He's not too well, you can tell, but he says he's going back home and he's happy to be back. And a number of them also expressed concern about what the way forward is for them here in Ghana, of course, on the back of announcements that have been made with regards to interventions that will be provided for these returnees. And so we'll take a look at some of those videos. But before that, let me just say good morning to my guest in the studio. I have right next to me, joining us, of course, he is Ross Osei Owusu. He is a member of the NPP communications team. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning.
First time we're meeting. I hope you're well.
I'm doing well.
Yeah. All right, you seem a little slow. Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I'm very fine.
Ginger, or you're fine?
I'm very fine.
You're fine, eh?
I'm very okay.
All right, I hear. And also, we have Fred Agbenyo. He's an MP for the Guan constituency. He's also a member of the NDC, and I haven't seen him in 2 years, so it's good that I'm seeing you now. How you doing?
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah, I am.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Beautiful as usual.
Thank you. How's it going in Parliament?
Well, it's okay. It's a new learning curve, and so we're putting the pieces together. So far, so good.
Are you finding your feet?
Oh,
gradually?
definitely.
Yeah.
I find our feet
All
gradually,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, also joining us in the studio, we had a conversation with her on Tuesday, but she was on Zoom. But this morning, she's honored us with her presence in the studio. Dr. Owusua Eshia Norte. She's a research fellow, African Institute of Migration and Security Research. You're looking very nice in your fugu this morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
All right. I'm fine. Thank you very much. So yesterday, we had some 296 Ghanaians who were evacuated from South Africa. And this was handled by the Ghanaian government, of course, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Ghana High Commission in South Africa. And there we were told that a number of these Ghanaians had sought refuge awaiting their return to Ghana. And so for a number of days, many of them were staying at the High Commission, undergoing screening processes to make them eligible to return home, especially because of documentation issues. Of course, we're told that some of them had stayed way beyond their visa requirements, and so they needed to be screened properly so they won't get arrested at the airport. They needed to make sure that of all those coming, they didn't have any criminal records in South Africa, and a number of other screening exercises as well. So yesterday, we saw 297 of them touch down in Accra at the Accra International Airport a little after 2 p.m., even though the flight was delayed, because we expected them to have returned to Ghana by 9 a.m. yesterday, but per the conversations that we had, we were told that there were some challenges with regards to where the Ethiopian airline was supposed to have picked them up from. There was communication that they would be picked up from a different airport, but Ethiopian Airlines was given the OR Tambo airport yesterday to land and also to pick up these Ghanaians. So by the time they got to the airports, there were other flights that were also going through the immigration processes, etc. So that delayed them a bit. But eventually, they came to Ghana, and you could tell from their faces, some of them singing, looking excited. There's a woman who was wailing, and only God knows why she was wailing so much. She could barely even stand. She had to be supported onto the bus that took her off the tarmac. And a number of them actually spoke, some of them in prison who were released. And in fact, with these ones, we're told 26 of them were released from prison after negotiations with the South African government. And this is according to the Foreign Affairs Minister. He says that these 26 were in prison because of immigration issues. And so it was not because of any other form of criminality, but just the fact that they had immigration issues, and so they had been jailed. But they were able to negotiate and get them all back into the country, and they were part of the first group of people that came as well. And so this was when they were released from the prison to the High Commission to undergo screening processes so they can make it back into Ghana. 26 of them. Initially, we were told only 10 of them were going to be released by the South African government, but they had to go back and renegotiate and try and get all 26 out of prison. And so, luckily for them, they joined the flight, came to Ghana. And yesterday, the focus was on mothers, on children, on those who are unwell, as well as these prisoners. But on the back of all this, there's been a major conversation as to how many of these Ghanaians were undocumented, were illegal migrants in South Africa. And so an official from the Home Affairs in South Africa yesterday granted an interview where he indicated that out of the 300 who were supposed to return yesterday, only 10 of them had the legal documents. We'll take a look at that, and then right after that, we'll hear from His Excellency Ben Kwashi, the Ghana High Commissioner to South Africa, who now debunked that statement and said that was actually wrong. 80% of Ghanaians actually had the right documents. Take a look.
Is that of the 300, only 10 of them are legal in the country. So quite a number of them is in non-compliance to our Immigration Act. And as I indicated, we'll make sure that certain enforcement actions are implemented. We found that many of them did not comply with the South African immigration legislation, and there are certain transgressions found, and therefore we obviously will have to make sure that certain sanctions enforced. But I think what's important is that the collaboration with the Ghanaian embassy and ourselves to make sure that we have the numbers that they indicated they have, bring them here to the airport, and to make sure that the processes are followed here as well.
Let me state on record that 80% of the 300 people that we got repatriated to Ghana today, 80% were documented immigrants in South Africa. 20% were undocumented. Now, let me explain. Emmanuel Asamoah, the gentleman that I came to Ghana with, the first gentleman who was accosted by this group, and then they humiliated him, and then they said his documents were fake and all of that. When we told them that the documents were not fake, it was the same immigration department officials who said, no, his documents were faked. We knew it was not fake because we knew very well that they were spinning the whole story. What did we do? I traveled with Emmanuel Asamoah to Accra, Ghana. We went through all immigration posts. We went through immigration modalities. We went through to the counter where Border Management Authority is, and nobody said he was illegal. He was very legal in the country, reaffirming our stance that this whole idea of calling people undocumented and they not being able to identify what being an undocumented immigrant in South Africa is, that is where we are getting to. I have challenged the immigration official who put out that figure that come. Let's all put our books out and let's ensure that everybody sees what it is that we saw during the process of us all coming together, working for these Ghanaians to leave South Africa and go to Ghana. You see, when state institutions who are supposed to take accountability for certain things that they do that are not right decides to also join the propaganda of individuals in the country, then that is where you find no seeming solution to this whole xenophobic attack and how it's unfolding. Because at the end of the day, be clear with the people. Explain to them what we mean by documented and undocumented immigrants in your country. I'm sure that we've challenged him. I'm sure that in the days to come, we'll put our facts out there for everybody to see and for everybody to judge. I'm not here to say that he's doing that for a purpose or whatever. He worked very nicely with us. He was at the Ghana High Commission, sat in our offices, worked with us very well. So I'm surprised that these figures are coming from him. But I'm sure that in the days to come, you hear him retracting those stories, and then we move on from there.
Those ladies who are married to foreign nationals and there is no spousal relationship, they can come to the office so that we can deal with such matters, so that we can cancel those visas. Because you'll find these guys who are selling drugs, they are married to South African citizens, and there are no spousal relationships. So when we arrest these guys who's having drugs, then the lady will come to us and say, "This is my husband."
So earlier you heard from His Excellency Benjamin Kwashi, and he's debunked those reports by the Home Affairs officer. Well, we're hoping that we can hear a response or get a response from the South African government with regards to this, but he has thrown a challenge to them, and he says that they're going to put out their documents, and they hope that the South Africans also put out their documents to indicate or to back that 10 people claim that they made yesterday, if really that is the truth. But let me start off with Ross at this point, because, I mean, this is a very concerning matter, but we're grateful that we have our Ghanaians back home. Yesterday, watching them come back home, how did it make you feel?
Let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners and my friends here. I must say that yesterday I was filled with a lot of nostalgia when I saw footages of our compatriots at the airport. And it's sad to actually believe that if any country at all would perpetrate this kind of heinous atrocities on fellow Africans, the least country that we should have expected is South Africa, because Africa and the rest of the world, and Ghana in particular, played a very formidable role when the issue of apartheid came up, to the extent that the then president of the Republic, President Jerry John Rawlings, when South Africa was trying to heal from the shackles of apartheid, Ghana gave them some amount of money to even help them rebuild. So it is quite unfortunate and worrying to actually believe that this is what our brothers and sisters in South Africa will be doing to Ghanaians, and not just only Ghanaians, other African nationalities abroad. But I must also commend the government for initiating the evacuation process and successfully bringing about close to 300 people back to Ghana. This is the duty of every government that is elected in place to take care of Ghanaians. You'll recall that in the year 2002, Ghana had to evacuate some Ghanaians who were in distress when the Ukraine-Russia war broke out. Ghana had to evacuate some Ghanaians back to Ghana.
In 2002,
it was
you say?
2022. At the time, it was not fashionable to do that because the airspace of Ukraine was actually closed when government had to go through neighboring countries like Poland, Slovakia, Romania, and Slovenia to actually bring these Ghanaians, primarily Ghanaian students who were stranded in Ukraine at the time, back home. So this is a function government is supposed to perform. In 2023 in Sudan, you realize that when the war broke out and became highly intensified, government then again had to, airlift some people, and they couldn't just airlift them straight from Sudan. They had to go through the borders of Ethiopia, and some came through Egypt before they could be airlifted to Ghana. This tells you that the work we are seeing from government is only the duty that government is supposed to perform. Except that I have already congratulated them and thanked them for the work they've done so far. Except that I find it very worrying when the optics I'm seeing on social media suggest that as if government has, done something that is really extraordinary. I found the foreign minister on board the Ethiopian aircraft. I found the chief of staff on board the Ethiopian aircraft, and it is worrying. This is a very serious matter that I think we should confront it as a people and try to.
What's wrong with them being on the aircraft?
Because I mean, that's why I premised my statement by saying that we've seen these evacuations before. This is not the first time we are seeing evacuations from countries that are our Ghanaian citizens are in distress. We've seen it from Sudan. We've seen it from Ukraine. We did not see the kind of optics that I'm seeing. Mind you, this is a political space. So when you see some of these things happening, it raises a source of what? Concern. So it is as if to suggest that government has done something extraordinary. And the point I'm making is that this is a function of government, and when the government is elected into power, these are some of the things it is expected of government to perform, and exactly what government did yesterday. And we expect that every other Ghanaian that is willing to come to Ghana from South Africa, government will put the necessary modalities and arrangements in place to ensure that they come back to this country.
But how does the Foreign Affairs Minister and the Chief of Staff being on the flight take away from the main issue?
For me, it was not necessary.
For them to be on the flight.
Have you seen some of the footages on
I've seen all the footages. I've seen them on the flight.
Exactly, and some.
You saw how excited the evacuees were when they saw them on board. Did that not give them some reassurance that yes, these people really care about us? I mean, if the NPP, for example, had been in power, and we had your officials go on that flight, would you have described that as?
That is why I've given you the benefit of history. I've given you the benefit of history.
I understand. I'm just saying
it happened. We did not do that, and I will not expect any future NPP government to do that. So it was quite unnecessary, and you can just see it. The foreign minister on board the Ethiopian Airlines and trying to, make the optics look good.
Are you just trying to find a problem where there's no problem?
No, I'm not finding any problem. Remember, I have congratulated the government for successfully evacuating close to 300 people to Ghana. It's just this part of the whole process I find worrying that I'm trying to bring out. I have thanked the government for doing that. And the MPP, I think, also appreciate the effort of government in trying to bring our compatriots back to this country. But the optics of being on the flight and what we saw at the airport and the kind of interpretation that is being given on social media is what I find worrying. Because these things have happened before.
Okay. But I mean, if you look at all the interventions that government is also indicating they'll make available to these Ghanaians who have returned to Ghana, etc., for you, from that angle, do you have any concerns, or do you think it's a step in the right direction?
I think government needs to do more. I listened to the foreign minister talking about a special allowance for transportation to transport these persons who were affected by these xenophobic attacks back to their places of abode. And I also heard him say that a special package will be given for reintegration of these deportees. I must say that they must go beyond that. They must go beyond that, because just giving transportation and reintegration allowance to a person who has to, I just heard one man who said he has lived in South Africa for 20 years. So for such a person, he needs proper reintegration, transportation and allowance for reintegration. Indeed, we need to know the quantum of allowance. But I feel that, for example, if a policy like the 24-hour economy was running, the 133, so one person, 3 jobs, one person, 1 job, no, 3 persons, 1 job, 3 shifts, was running effectively, these persons could have easily been positioned in some of these areas for them to have proper reintegration, rather than giving them allowances for them to go back to their
So it's 5 things that government stated. They said they would give a welcome home financial package, of course, transport assistance to their various destinations across Ghana, reintegration allowance, free psychosocial support, and entry into a special database for jobs and startup opportunities. These are the 5 things that were listed.
Yes, jobs. But where are the jobs going to come from? You were in this country when you saw what happened in Elwak, right? These are people who have not even traveled anywhere. They are people that are living right here in Ghana with us, and they just want to be recruited into the security agencies. You saw what happened. It was very horrible. Now we have people that are coming in from foreign lands for situations that we did not really anticipate. Now these people are coming in, they need jobs. So what I'm saying is that government really needs to do something more beyond the package that has been announced.
You don't want
if there is a plan, if there is a plan to give them jobs, they should roll out that plans to the people of Ghana for us to see the plans they have, because these are very well built. I saw some of them, able-bodied men, young men and women who are capable of working. If they do not find that space in Ghana, that working environment in Ghana, if they don't find that space to work here, it's going to be a very big problem.
Okay, all right. Let me bring Fred Agbenyo in, because, I mean, of course, concerns raised by Ross here, but beyond that as well, I'd want you to touch on the issue concerning, first of all, I mean, how do you feel about, the return of these Ghanaians and the reintegration plan that we have for these Ghanaians?
Well, Bella, thank you very much for the opportunity. Let me say good morning to our church viewers and to Doc and to my brother. I think that it's quite emotional. It's quite disturbing that where we have gotten to as Africa, we should still be seeing things like this. And so for me, I'm going to resist the temptation of trying to do NDC and NPP politics with a subject matter like this. This is a serious issue that confronts us as a continent, that we need to look at it from that global perspective. What can we do so that these things that not repeat themselves again? We must not reduce everything to MPP, NDC, football, and politics. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. And so I will resist that temptation and focus on the major issues. Let me thank all the stakeholders, the government, the minister, the high commissioner, and everybody who has played a role, including the media, in making sure that Ghanaians who are going through some challenges in Africa have been brought back to Ghana. You saw the glee and excitement on the face of some of them. You saw the emotions, some of them crying, weeping. And these are persons who may not necessarily have prepared themselves to return home, but circumstances have compelled them to come back here. It's only fair and proper that the government has stated we reintegrate them in society properly, so that they feel very belonging. They know that at least they can do good as well in their home country. Reality is that migration will continue every day, every now and then. People move from America to Africa to come and settle and work. People move from America and go to Europe, move from Europe and go to wherever it is. Human beings by nature, we have that potential to move to wherever we think that there are opportunities and what we can do far better. And so this will not be the first time Ghanaians will travel to any country to go and work. And this is not the first time other nationals will travel to our country to come and work. Today, as we speak, if you go and check, we have several South Africans who live in Ghana, several businesses that are run by South Africans, they're working over here. If you go to Nigeria, a lot of South Africans are there. They're in our mining sector, they're in the telecom sector, they are all over the place. They even own shops, in this country. And so what we must be doing at this point is to condemn what is happening in South Africa. That this is not the Africa we want to see around this time. We all know the role several African countries played, especially in the days of the apartheid. Several nations, including our beloved country, Ghana. We didn't see what was going on in Africa at the time as a problem of South Africa. We saw it as a problem of the whole continent of Africa. That our dignity was at stake, our freedom was at stake, and that there was no point for any foreigner to come to our country, hold us more or less domiciled. They took over everything. They controlled everything. They were not even allowed our children to attend the schools that they were attending. They were not seeing the same. Those were the things that they went through. Nelson Mandela and Zere were in jail for several years. I recall in 1991, when Nelson Mandela was free from prison, it was 1 p.m. I think I was in GSS then. That it was though Black Stars has won a match in Ghana here. The excitement, the joy. Everybody was so happy that at least something has happened in South Africa. Then by 1994, when they returned to multi-party democracy, everybody was excited about it. And so Africa got involved, because before then, embargo had been placed on embargo. They were not allowed to get involved in sport activities. And so the first Africa Cup of Nations in 1996 was held over there. They hosted and they won the tournament. And so it brought some energy, it brought some life back to the South Africans. I just need to control myself not to say things that maybe on hindsight you regret you have said. This is not what we expect of them. This is not what we expect of them. Several nations, in spite of the challenges they were facing, in their countries, contributed both money, morally, psychologically, whatever they needed to do to make sure that South Africa becomes what it is today. And so this is the least they can do to all of us. They can't treat us like this. If we also said, okay, all right, so let's play the game. We're also going to send all your citizens back to South Africa. If Nigeria should say same, if Cote d'Ivoire and all other countries say same, can they survive? Can they live? If all of us should come together and say, you know what, all your businesses across the continent of Africa, we are closing them up. Go back and sell in South Africa. Can they survive? And I expect the AU to play a leading role in what is going on. They shouldn't sit back and just watch. They shouldn't just sit back and watch. We need to condemn this because it is unacceptable. And as I said, our home is our home. We need to create that conducive environment that those who have no business really going to stay out there hustling and struggling around will find home and heaven they want to remain in. I have been to South Africa a number of times. I used to be deputy director of international for our party. And so I was in South Africa to set up branches in almost all their states, set up the chapter before I came back. And one of the things that grieves you when you get to South Africa is the insecurity. Even when you are making a call, people are standing by everybody. Like, really, that country, you can't argue that during the apartheid regime, you can compare South Africa to any other country in Europe in terms of infrastructure development and everything. Can we say same today? How have they been able to manage their own affairs since they took over? You know, and so it's a major concern, major problem. And somebody must speak to them. What I am worried and sad about, if you go on social media and you monitor even their reaction, as of now, no sense of remorse, they don't care. You dare not say anything, they come after you, they attack you, they insult you. It's not proper.
I mean, there are a few who, condemn these attacks, by the way.
Of course, you cannot say it's the entire country.
Yeah.
I sincerely don't think this is something that the government has sanctioned or all South Africans are involved in. But when you get to a situation where, as a nation, the nation has lost control, the government cannot control activity of its citizens, people can take the law into their own hands and treat others the way we saw on video and social media, then it becomes very, very worrying.
But they think that we're capitalizing on this to do PR for our country. And one of the conveners for the Back movement in South Africa, Jacinta, who's been at the forefront of this whole Get the Illegal Migrants Out of South Africa campaign, she says that they didn't expect us to react the way we did. We're overreacting.
Very responsible. It's very responsible.
Because we've rather taken advantage of the PR to paint South Africa.
She's very, very responsible. She doesn't deserve anything from it. She's very, very responsible. That's what she's talking about.
But she's not the only one. I mean, you hear from the Home Affairs officer, we just played that video, where he says that out of the 300 that were expected yesterday, only 10 of them were documented.
I am trying to stay away from this.
Commissioner also says it's 80%. So which is which? Which one should we go with?
Even if people are leaving your country illegally, they don't have any documentation, must you pass on them and beat them up? Must you humiliate them like the way they are doing? What kind of barbaric behavior? You see, I don't want to get there. They should stop it.
We've established that that's wrong. What I'm asking now is, how do we
the High Commissioner is telling
the
you,
two comments that have, or statements that have been put out?
This is not the time for them to be saying the kind of things they are saying. This is not the time, especially when they have not given us any evidence to support the claim they are making. The High Commissioner is telling you that 80% of the persons have the documentation bill there. Yes, if people are leaving your country illegally, repatriate them to their countries. There's no argument about that. If people are living in Ghana and they are not supposed to be here down the documentation, we should be able to go through all the necessary protocols and return them to their countries. America will repatriate people to their countries every day. UK will repatriate people to their countries every day. But the kind of things we are seeing, the attacks, the beatings on their businesses, it's uncalled for.
Okay.
And so nobody should try to justify that. They shouldn't justify it at all. Must we also start hunting around and looking for South Africans who are living in this country without the necessary permits and documentation? And when we get them, should we treat them the same way? Would they be happy? Should Nigeria do the same? Should other African countries do the same to their citizens? What are they talking about?
Okay.
Are they more Africans and more human than the rest of us? What is so special about them?
Let me bring Dr.
Why are we treating them with kid gloves?
Let me bring Dr. Notte in, because this statement coming from South Africa, and then we have a response from our High Commissioner saying that statement wasn't the real picture on the ground. In fact, 80% of them were actually documented. How do you position this, and how does this also tie into the whole diplomatic conversation that we need to have with South Africa?
Yeah, thank you very much, Abella. I'm right now finding it very difficult to believe and also understand whether the South Africans who are telling us the truth, or I would really want to believe consulate, the ambassador in South Africa, the Ghana ambassador.
The High Commissioner, okay.
The commissioner, of course. So they have day-to-day activity dealings with the Ghanaian population. So if he is saying that we have 80% of the people who are coming documented, I'm forced to believe that whatever he's saying is true. Because documentation means through the processing, right? You should have documentation to even board the aircraft. So if they are not documented, I was thinking, so how would they even board? How would they even be confident to be in the system? Because this xenophobia attack or Afrophobia thing did not start today. They know what would really happen to them when they go beyond their mandate. People were in detention, isn't it? I had 26 of them even boarded the aircraft, yes. So I'm tempted to believe that some, well, I don't know that about the statistics, the numbers. The High Commissioner is saying 80% and 20% undocumented. So, well, let's
should we question this more? Because if the South African says they were there illegally, and we are saying they were documented, maybe because that's what the High Commissioner is saying. That
so what are we believing now? That as a Ghanaian, I would believe my ambassador there to tell us the truth. And why would he lie? Because if people are there illegally, you know the consequences. Of course, you've even testified to the fact that 20% have document issues and 80. So why didn't he say that 100% are what documented, but rather gave us 80-20? So he even tells us that like 20% are undocumented, and that's okay. So why would the South African
with this
yes, of course, because they want to defend their acts, whatever they are doing to our fellow Africans over there. They want to pin it on us because we are illegal. Is it a crime to be illegal? No. So just regularize their stay. They are Africans. So what's wrong with? Of course, so we have 90 days to stay there freely, right? We have bilateral agreement with South Africa. So after the elapse of the 90 days, you have to apply for visa. I don't know what the process is. Is it because it is expensive? Is it the process that is making them not to like renew their stay? I need answers to this.
Well, there's a teacher that we spoke to.
It should be very easy to do this
on Tuesday, and he says that he went there legally. They gave him a teaching license to be able to teach in South Africa. When it expired, they were supposed to renew it. He says he doesn't understand why they have refused to renew it. So he's also one of the Ghanaians who's looking to come back to Ghana as well. But that was his concern. So,
all right, so
it sort of paints a picture as if the government in South Africa, for some reason, is refusing to renew some of these documents that, you know, had people legally in the country.
So if I were to be that migrant, you were there as a labor migrant, and they are refusing to renew your contract. What are you supposed to do? Either relocate or come back. Is it only South Africa that is a country in this world? If they are refusing, because how would you work? You're a professional teacher. How would you get your livelihood if your papers or licenses are not renewed for you to work there? So the decision is either you think to move onward migration, or you come home and start afresh. And you not even start afresh. I mean, you're a teacher. You can get something to do.
It's been days since this started. We've been talking about repatriating Ghanaians back into Ghana, etc. And we still have not heard anything from the AU up until this point.
Yeah, I don't think we'll hear anything from them, because at that diplomatic level, they wouldn't be making noise. Like, they are not politicians, right? They wouldn't want to come out and think that they are backing Ghana or backing South Africa, because I heard Honorable Okujetu has petitioned the AU and even the government of South Africa itself. So let's see, maybe they are having behind closed door talks, and then maybe they will come out. But seriously, we need accountability. We need to be, South Africa must be accountable.
How do we hold them accountable?
Of course, so it's all about negotiation, isn't it? Ghana government and South African government to sit down, and then those who have lost properties, those who have lost whatever, those who are coming, certainly you know that they've left properties there, maybe even their savings, lost a lot of things. So how are they going to, businesses, small business owners are all part of those who registered to come. So how are we going to also let them get whatever they've lost? It's the burden shouldn't be on only Ghana. South Africa must also be responsible. And also those people who are out there rampaging, going and like treating these Ghanaians with all this disrespectful behavior must also be called to book. Yes, of course. So,
Ross, let me come back to you then, because we'll go to the statements that was made earlier by the Home Affairs Office and then also by a High Commissioner. How do you position this? I mean, we don't have a reason to not believe a High Commissioner. especially at this time, where any wrong statement could even worsen the situation for Ghanaians who are still in South Africa?
Well, I believe I will side with Doctor when she mentions that she has no reason to doubt the statement or the figures that has been issued by our High Commissioner. I feel that before evacuations of this nature happens, there should be a high-level diplomatic conversation between Ghana's mission and that of South Africa. And if that had been done, I'm sure we would not be having these conversations here. It is the case that South Africa is saying that they have only about 10 people that are properly documented.
Yesterday, the people who were coming, they said it was only 10 of them that were properly documented.
Yes.
But our High Commissioner says that's wrong. 80% of our people were actually documented.
So that raises a big question. Was that diplomatic conversation had between the authorities in South Africa and that of Ghana's mission? If that was not done, then I think it's problematic. However, I think that if somebody is illegally residing in your country and that person has voluntarily and through the assistance of the government decided to evacuate them from your country, I don't see why this should be the conversation we should even be having in the first place. Because in any case, the people are leaving your country. So you don't want them there and they are leaving. So why are you worried? And the footages, we are seeing clearly point to the fact that we had close to about 300 people coming into Ghana. They've left South Africa. So I don't think this should be the conversation that we should be having. I must say, and I must re-emphasize that I started by making the point that I'm surprised it is South Africa that is embarking on this mission, because Africa and the rest of the world, including Ghana, stood by them when they went through those excesses of apartheid. So this is not the conversation we should be having today. I saw one gentleman who had been beaten. You could see marks on his back and all that. These are very horrible experiences that you would not even wish for your enemies. But the point is that I feel back home, this should give us that thinking, that realization as a people, that we should create that conducive environment for our compatriots so that they live in this country and make meaningful living. It is when they believe there is no hope that they are forced to travel out. And when I say this, I'm saying it across board, both MPP and NDC. Anytime we have the opportunity to govern, let's govern in a manner that brings prosperity and hope to our people, so that they wouldn't have the need to travel outside the country to go and stay there. Because really in South Africa, I am struggling to appreciate what is really there that we cannot find in Ghana, that will warrant Ghanaians to travel to that country for these atrocities to be visited on them. It's quite sad, and I think the conversation we should be having now is how to reintegrate these people back into society. For me, that is the most important thing, because if we fail to do that, if we fail to reintegrate them properly into society, then it's going to create a serious problem for us. Very serious problem. You have 300 people coming in yesterday. More will be coming in the subsequent days.
297 actually. 3 of them.
Well, 3 short of 300. More will be coming in the subsequent days. Where are these people going to live? What employment are they going to engage in? And how are they going to be sustained? You understand? This is very important questions that we should be asking beyond their arrival. And I think it's a very important question and a conversation that we should be having. Yes, how these people are going to survive in this country now.
In your statement, are you then admitting that the political class has failed Ghanaians generally when it comes to the issue of job creation and also ensuring that we have a conducive environment for growth in this country?
I think we could have done better as a country. We could have done better as a people, you understand? Because I don't see why Ghana, with all the natural resources and the abundant resources we have, we cannot create an enabling environment. Even if government is not the one providing the jobs, we should be able to create a very conducive environment for the private sector to thrive, so that private sector will be able to employ the chunk of the people that government is unable to employ. This is a very important issue that I think we must concentrate on, because whether we like it or not, they are back in Ghana. Whether we like it or not, that is the decision South Africa has decided. And mind you, back in South Africa, this is a political decision. The government of the day is thinking about how to win the next elections. Because if you go contrary to what your people are doing, it is going to have an impact, a consequence on your next elections. Because they are saying that healthcare is problematic. They cannot even access healthcare as citizens. There are no jobs for them because foreigners are taking their jobs. And truthfully, beyond the atrocities they are meting out to our people, I think that per international laws, there are rules and regulations that guides persons that wants to live in another person's country. So you cannot just go into another person's country and just go and live there as much as you want, establish businesses and live your life as if that is your country. You understand? So to some extent, I don't blame the South Africans so much, but I feel, and I mean, if we would all agree, I think they went on the extreme by physically attacking some Ghanaians and even Nigerians. But truth must be told, whoever wishes to live in South Africa must live there legally. You understand? Because there are ramifications. You can't go to, and London, I'm sure, is embarking on the same thing. Trump currently is doing the same thing in America, just that they are not going on the tangent that South Africans are going. They are not attacking people. They are going by the law, and they are using the law to force the people out of their country. And I think that is what should be done. If we have jobs in this country for our citizens to be engaged in, I don't think nobody will pick bag and baggage and go to any other country to go and find greener pastures.
All right. Jeff G says that, Bella, doesn't the refusal of the South African authorities to renew the documents of even professional labor immigrants suggest a system carefully schemed to promote the xenophobic actions that's following it? The government cannot distance itself from the criminal activities by the South Africans. Okay. And if only 10 people are legal residents of SA, then SA itself is in big trouble. That's Kwejo Fiagbe. And also we have a message from Daniel Danso. He says, you governed for 8 years, and what hope did you give us? Please ask what the then government did for those who were brought home that he's criticizing the current government. Okay, I'm guessing this is for Ross, but let me go to you, Fred, because again, these interventions have been announced. And Ross, for example, is saying that you need to do more. But beyond even that question, what people want to know is, yes, you've listed these interventions. Are we going to get detailed information as to exactly how much we're giving each returnee, what exactly we're doing to ensure that jobs are created for them? And in that case, what happens to those who are already here who don't have jobs? Because that's at December last year. We're told that some 1.3 million people did not have work, did not have education, did not have training.
Well, Bella, thank you very much. Before I come to this substantive question, Doc said something. I agree with most of the things she said. But when she argues that the United Nations, the AU hasn't spoken because they are not politicians, and so maybe they are quiet and observing how things will go, I tend to disagree with them. We have decided that we need a senior man, we need a policeman that all of us will rally to, who can control and regulate the way we operate within the continent. And that's why we have set up that body. And so if somebody is doing something that is against what of us have agreed to do, they should be able to come out. We should call them out. Yes, you can do the diplomacy behind the scenes, but whilst we are doing that, you need to publicly give assurance to the rest of the people that, yes, we are watching, we are observing, we are in talk. But when you keep quiet, the impression you create out there is that you don't care about what is happening. And that could also embolden others to want to do the same. So AU silence, for me, it is not a good thing at all. To the extent that Ghana has even petitioned them, one would have expected them by now to have issued a public statement, what they think about what is happening in South Africa. There's a fact that all of us have established on this point, on this table, around this table, that you cannot go into anybody's country and live there illegally. It is wrong, it's unacceptable. No international protocol will accept a thing like that. But when people are living in your country illegally, it does also give you the right to treat them as though they are not human beings. You meet them on the street, you beat them to pulp, you ram them up, throw them in cells and all. You don't have to do that. Repatriate them back to their country. And other nations have shown such examples. This is not the first time they are repatriating people into this country. If you remember, when Nigeria found oil in the late 60s, a lot of professionals in this country left Ghana to Nigeria, seeking for greener pasture. Then by 1983, thereabout, over 1 million Ghanaians were repatriated from Nigeria back to Ghana. Right? Don't forget, before they did that, we also, when Nkrumah's administration was overthrown from 1966, we also did an abusive administration. When Nigerians who were living in this country, were doing business, were also repatriated to their country. And so they also paid us back by bringing our people. What the South Africans are doing, other nations will pay them back. And it can buy them 100 than what they are doing today. And so it is in their own interest. Because all of us as well can get back against them and to not help anybody. Now, I agree that God has blessed this country so much that we shouldn't be where we are now as a people. We have all the human resources, we have all the natural resources that it takes to make Ghana a better place. But I am saying that even if Ghana is heaven, even if Ghana is America, even if Ghana is whatever you want to think about under the globe, people will still move to other countries. It's a normal thing. People will still relocate. What is happening right now? Agriculture is a major issue. Nations that have developed have paid attention to the agriculture sector. For me, we try and establish the state farm system. And it that appears in this country, anything that belongs to the state is not taken very good care of. But at this point, what some of us can propose is that, can we go back to the state farm system where the management of the farms are not necessarily in the hands of the state? The state takes the lead, acquire the land, acquire all the farm implements, everything that we need commercially, and then we get partner with private people to run those farms. If you are such farms right now, these people who are coming, most of them can go there, they are working on the farm, they are working in the factory, they are processing, whatever it is. So we can do those things. Our mining sector is a huge sector. We can re-look at it very well, put it in such a way that it can create employment opportunity for a lot of people over there. The private sector is very key. We need to create that conducive environment for the private sector so they can open more opportunities and employ a lot of people. These things cannot happen overnight. Right? If you look at the time in the banking sector currently, you would accept that interest rates are coming down. And these are the things that you do for the private sector. Interest rates are coming down. You find a way to reduce the cost of electricity for industry, reduce the cost of maybe water for industry, and all the things that they need to operate. Once those things come down, they can expand, they can open up, then they can employ a lot of people. So it's a wake-up call to all of us that from where we sit now, we can't just take as business as usual. We need to create that enabling environment. We need to open up our space. Unemployment is a global phenomenon. It's not an issue about Ghana. But I'm saying we have an environment to be able to create more if indeed we are minded and very conscious about it. When we were taking office in 2005, unemployment rate in this country was about 14%. 2025, unemployment rate in this country was about 14%. Today, it has reached about 11% thereabouts within a year, almost a half that we have been in office. It means we can do more. There are several interventions that have been rolled out by the government, to equip individuals through the Jumaura program and several programs that we have established, giving apprenticeship training to the young people here and there. But it is not enough at this point. We are now, people who have come back home, even though you see excitement on their faces, they are happy and they're jubilating. I am happy that government has announced that we are going to give them some form of psychological therapy. We need to psych them up. They themselves must regain, themselves and be willing and to accept that, we travel abroad, it didn't work out, we are back to Ghana, we are ready to put ourselves together and start something new. Now, government has announced some interventions. I was thinking that my brother asked that, okay, can you announce? Can you tell us exactly what you mean by these packages? You have not even seen the packages yet. You've not even asked for details. But straight away, you are condemning it. It's not enough.
I have not condemned.
No, can please, let me know. When I finish, you can come in.
Okay, he says he hasn't condemned.
Yeah, I have not condemned.
When we say it is not enough, do you know what they are giving to the people? Have you seen it? So, by what, how did you come to the conclusion that it's not enough? You should have waited. You can ask. I agree. When you ask, Honorable Minister, can you give out the details? You said you are going to give them transportation allowances. Some of them were working in their workplaces. Some were just working on the streets, and then they were picked up, thrown into cells. Now they have brought them back to the country. They may not even have one cedi or one, their money is rand or whatever it is. They don't even have one in their pockets. And so for them to go back to their villages and their communities, government must make provision for that. That has been announced. I don't think there is any part of this country that you need maybe more than 10,000 Ghana cedis to be able to travel to the place, right, in terms of transportation cost. So we don't know how much they're going to give them. Now, when they get there, government has announced that they are going to give them startup capital. We also don't know how much that is going to be.
When do we get this information?
So this is the information that we should be asking for. The details. Then we can criticize the details if we disagree with the details. But when we have not seen the details and it's expedient for us to just say, no, it's not good, it's not enough, we can do more, I don't think it is fair, right? As I said, I am avoiding the temptation of going to the normal politicking. Otherwise, I was going to ask a number of questions, because like you rightly said, this is not the first time we are bringing Ghanaians abroad to this country. You remember years ago, even in Gambia, we are told about 44, Ghanaians were killed in Gambia and all that. We came into office, we wrote to them, we were asking for compensation and all that. So several governments over the period have done a number of things to support Ghanaians who live abroad and they found themselves in distress situations to return home. Whatever package we are giving to them, whichever we have integrated them to society, is it one that if we go back and do a comprehensive research today, we can say has really helped them? Are they fully integrated? Are they okay? Can they help? Because the danger with these things is that when they come back like this, if you don't give them the support, you don't get them to psych them up to become who they really are and to do things on their own. Some of them could, get involved in all manner of deviant activities that you don't expect them to get into, right? It's very, very key. People could jump into anything at all because of a survivor. They get involved in armed robbery, they will take to drugs, they will take to anything at all. And so it's important that we have an eye on them. It's important that we let them appreciate that, yes, you are not the first person to travel abroad and maybe you have found yourself in where you are now. Ghana is capable of helping you, supporting you to be able to come out of your current predicament.
Okay.
And that is assurance we want to give to them. Conclusion on the government's functionary minister, chief of staff, jumping on board. You see, it's a psychological therapy. Right? You were repatriated, packed in a flight, brought to your country. Even whilst you are on board, you don't even know the kind of reception that is waiting for you down. Are you coming to face humiliation? Are they coming to accept you and embrace you? And so when you see even your president come on board, right there in the plane, waving at you, shaking your hand, don't worry, all is not lost, come back home, let's see how we can work together. It gives you, it's a therapy, right? It gives them realization. So these are not things that we should condemn. These are not things that are meant to score any political points. Like you rightly said, governments have responsibility for their citizens wherever they live under the sun. And so if our citizens are going through some distress situation, they've been brought home, and we have gone to embrace and welcome them, why should that also become a subject for discussion?
Can we really sustain these interventions that we may be giving to these people? Because this is just the first batch of evacuees. We have about 800 of them. We're saying that we're going to provide intervention packages. And of course, we need to give them something because most of them are leaving behind businesses, leaving behind their lives to come back here and live. But the question people are asking is, how sustainable is this? So that in the next 2-3 years, we don't have them coming back and complaining. That even when I came, I couldn't find a job. They said they'll give us jobs, we didn't get. Some of them probably might even want to leave and go to another country as well. So how are we ensuring the sustainability of this?
You see, when people travel abroad, they come back with two things. Apart from the material things that you can talk about, they also acquire new knowledge and new skills, right? So you want to find out how you can tap into those skills and knowledge that you've acquired and put it to good use. Like we said, some of them are professionals, some of them are lecturers, they are teachers, and have you. Some of them are within the medical sector. How do you regularize some of these things, pay our laws and everything, so you get them to work in those institutions? If it's a lecturer who is teaching or lecturing and investing in South Africa and is back in Ghana, how do you help him so he can get an university in Ghana here to lecture? There are some of them who may not have any formal skills, right? Who maybe were in South Africa trying to survive, doing all manner of things. Now, as I said, there are a number of government interventions that have been rolled out. You see, the first therapy, really, to solve this issue is to work on their mindset. It's the most important thing, trust me. If you just get up right now and go and put money into their hands, when they are not well psyched up, they are not prepared, they are not ready to sit back home and get something done, that money will dissipate in no time. Yeah. So what we need to do now is really sit them down. There are a number of people who really travel abroad, who perhaps have no business going to where they go to, but people go abroad, they come back after a year, or they've bought a plot of land, or they've bought a car here, or they are doing one or two things. And so the impression is that out there, it is very easy. When you go there, you get things done very quickly. We need to intensify education. Almost all of us who travel abroad know that life is not easy out there. You go and see Ghanaians who live in America, they are on their run every minute. Every minute, they are on their run. And so we need more public education. We need to sit these people down. As I said, agriculture is very key. Okay. Value addition is very key. It's one of the sectors that can engage a lot of people quickly, as you can think of. Government has planned, for instance, I want to go into this palm plant. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up. This palm plantation project that we are talking about. If you can go and acquire land, we have a lot of seedlings, and say, hey, you guys, let's move, let's go and plant. Those of you who don't have any formal skills, let's go and plant a palm, let's plant more cocoa, let's do this, and we are paying them, and whatever money we are paying them, if they even compare to whatever they are earning over there is commensurate, at least they will be okay.
All right.
So the first thing first, let them go back to their families, help them to get back to their families. Once they are there, you have record of them, get your psychologist to go there, work on them, prepare them, sack them up. Okay. And then whatever package you have, let them come. Voluntary, don't impose anything on anybody.
Well,
let them come.
We hope that government can give us some more details with regards to the package. I know you want to respond to something.
Let me quickly respond.
But hold on. Clement, let me also involve our viewers. Clement Ansu says that I was one time a victim, a deportee from Gabon. Clement, if you can give us details as to how you were reintegrated back into society. Money says, Kwame Despite should employ 500 of the 800 people. Okay, we hear you. But also, Prince Henry Koforidua says, the AU must be compelled to suspend South Africa from the association. Very barbaric act, and it must not be entertained. And Eric says, can we, the government for that matter, ask the SA government to pay for all these costs? 100,000 Ghana cedis is not bad for each of them. This is from GH Mindfulness. And Elom says, Bella, please tell Ghanaians that we are not poor. We have fertile land and they should come and join us farm and increase our output. Okay, I'll just give you just a minute because Doc has to come in. I know you want to respond to him.
So perhaps my brother here was not listening to me when I was making my submission. Because from what he's saying, I get a thinking that he was not really listening to me. I commended government for successfully evacuating the 297.
You already made this point.
Yes, yes. So the point he is making that I sort of criticize government on this reintegration thing, I don't know where he's coming from. I made the point that it is not enough for government to give transportation and reintegration allowance alone. And he made a very fine point that these people coming in can be involved in deviant behavior if they have nothing meaningful doing here. And that is exactly the point I am making, that government ought to use, for example, the 24-hour program, the 133 thing, to put these people to work.
Okay.
Because when they are engaged positively, they will not be finding this involvement in deviant behaviors that you are talking about. So nobody has criticized government for doing anything. But all that we are saying, what I'm saying to you is that
because you don't know
because this is a very huge platform.
Now you're taking Doc's time. You've made your point. That you didn't, you said you didn't. We understand. Okay. Fred, please allow Doc. Doc, I mean, you're a research fellow, and so I'm sure you are privy to the numbers as to how many Ghanaians we have literally leaving this country on a daily basis trying to find. I don't know if you have those statistics here, but maybe you can brush on it. But how does this affect, and I'm asking this in relation to lack of jobs in the country as well, because we already have a high number of young people in this country who are looking for jobs that can't find it. And we've been told that that already is a major security issue. And a lot of them are leaving the country to go find jobs, whether legally or illegally living in another country. So if we have more of them coming back, how does this affect the security situation in Ghana?
All right, thank you very much. So, Bella, I must comment that this conversation is very important. And we're going beyond the arrival of these migrants. We are touching on migrant security, both, in the diaspora, migrant protection in the diaspora, state responsibility, and reintegration, for sure. So the state responsibility is about the creation of these jobs that you are saying. So over the years, I think we failed, not only Ghana, I mean, African has failed its population, okay? Joblessness so high, unemployment, you understand, people throwing their hands in despair for looking elsewhere for their greener pastures. People going through deserts to cross Mediterranean to just make or earn a living. And I think it's very pathetic. We should condemn, I mean, encourage our leaders to really, the resources that we have, okay, what are we doing about them? Try to create jobs for our people and let our young people stay and also work here, because home is home. Look at what is happening to them in South Africa. People migrated. I think that the people that they are even branding as illegal migrants might have gone there legally, but the process of also reintegrating has become a problem, and they are now branded as illegal or undocumented migrants. So with the reintegration thing, also I'll also commend the government for bringing these return migrants. This word "ivequa" is very difficult to pronounce. This return, yes, return migrants. Yes, I commend them for that. But that is not the end of that. That's not the end of the migration story. The actual test is about the reintegration. So I was expecting that with all the speeches that I heard from the ministers, from Honorable Deborah and the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, I was expecting that by this time they would have a documented, like a framework plan to reintegrate them. So this, like pledges, they are pledging or promising that they give them TNT back home. It's very important. They give them what? Reintegration allowance. Did I hear that? Reintegration allowance.
Let me just pull that up for you
yes.
again. So welcome home financial package.
Yeah, okay.
There's transportation assistance to their various destinations across Ghana, reintegration allowance, free social support, and entry into a special database for jobs and startup opportunities.
Yeah, fantastic. But these are just like pledges. What I was expecting, like well-documented information for us. We are now going to sit down and go back to the minister to tell us, so what is the package all about? When you talk about reintegration allowance, how much is that? Who qualifies for what? Remember, they are saying that they're going to integrate them, put them into the database.
Yes.
No, the database cannot translate into jobs. But really, if you really want to give them jobs, be very practical. We are going to do A, B, C, absorb them in these industries. You understand? That is if it's available. If people need startup monies to start up their businesses or whatever income, you understand? You spell out everything and then you let us know. But just coming to just pledge, I hope that we go beyond the pledge. Certainly, I understand Honorable was saying that, okay, these are the questions we should ask, so we are asking.
Okay.
It should have, we need not even ask. It should have accompanied the arrival, you understand, so that people will know that, oh, okay, practically, these are the things that we're going to do. So currently, I don't even know where they are, because the profiling process takes a long time. And of course, so integration is not an event. It's a long process. Integrate them socially, psychologically, economically, very important. Remember, people have lost their jobs, businesses, and all that. People like, I will not even be able to locate their families. What are we doing about that? Are we linking them to the district level? Of course, so at the district level, that's where they live. So are there any local support system to really help them integrate? These are important questions and things that we should put in place right now. Right now that the 297 people are here, more will be coming, you understand? So we should really be fast and position these people at the right places for them to be comfortable. Because integration is helping them to settle and also rebuilding their lives.
Okay, just quickly before we move to our next topic, give me a minute. I just wanted, because I wanted to touch on the earlier question that I had asked about the security situation in the country with regards to joblessness.
Yes.
I just wanted to respond to that quickly and then.
Yes, so of course, we even those in the country are having employment issues. So people that are, I don't think the numbers are so staggering that they cannot absorb.
Okay.
I don't know the profile, you understand, the skill background of these people coming. We don't even know their educational background. So fine. So I think the profiling will really tell us, give us the data, who needs what and what should be done to who.
Okay. I thought that was part of the screening process.
The point I was trying to make is that the point the doc made. You can't put all of them in one bracket. You need to profile the people. Government cannot say, for instance, that, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Government cannot say that when they arrive in Ghana, I'm giving everybody 1,000 Ghana cedis. Slab capital, 20 Ghana cedis. This and this. No, you need to profile the people. Know their capacities.
They can be arranged.
Yeah, so I'm saying that when you know their capacities and their levels, their backgrounds and the rest, it's at that time that you're able to determine that specifically this is what will work for this person. And again, you don't want to even impose employment opportunities on the people. Their interest is key, right? Their training is key. The skills they've acquired is key. And so you cannot announce these things ahead of their their coming in. So what has happened now is that they've come in, they are somewhere. Within this short period, they will be profiled completely. Government that come in, this will announce. These are the measures we intend to do, but the specifics will be announced in the coming days.
Okay.
So I can only plead with all of us that all the specifics that you are looking for will be announced by government, and we want to assure all Ghanaians and the people who have arrived in this country that government is buying them, government is watching them, government is not just going to leave them to be on their own.
Let Ross come in on this and then.
Yes, I'm very happy with the submission Dr. Owusu made. You know, sometimes in this country, when you Dr. Owusu, I'm seeing Dr. Owusu on the screens. That's why. So Dr. Owusu, I'm also Owusu, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very happy with her submission. You would realize that I made the same point she has made. The only difference between us is that she is not politically colored, I am politically colored. So when I make very good intervention regarding this matter, my brother here will see it as politics. But indeed, if you listen to Dr. Usua very well, that is the point I was making. You understand? I am surprised, and per what my brother here is telling me, I'm beginning to accept the position of the South African mission on these 10 people that were taken. Because how come government had engaged a mission in South Africa on the number of people they were going to repatriate? Government had constantly been in touch. They knew the people. They had profiled them even before they came. Because I'm not sure they just gathered them and brought them to Ghana.
Yes, there was a screening.
There was a screening process. Yeah. As part of that screening process, I feel that if government really was minded, would have profiled them and had planned for them as to what they are going to be engaged in, or the plans they have for them before they even arrive in Ghana. We are in this country, we know how some of these things are done. In a country where government gives directive, employ these number of people. I'm a practicing lawyer. I currently have a case on my desk where somebody who was brutally injured in the Elwak incident, the security recruitment. You remember a clear directive was given by government that those people should be absorbed into the security services. Yes. I speak to you today. There is one lady, a client of mine, who has still not been recruited. And do you know the reason? She has a protruding, how do you call it? No, you know, yes, the navel.
Okay.
And that is the reason why she cannot be recruited into the security service. Hold on. No, this, I mean, if you want me to provide better and further particulars, I can do that. I directed her to the Ministry of Defense to do that. So you know that in this country, when a promise is given, that is the only reason. If you want me to give you further and better particulars, I'm willing to do that because the Deputy Minister of Defense, hold on. Let me finish. The Deputy Minister of Defense is very much aware of this because I petitioned him and he gave a response to that petition. He went back to 37 to conduct another test on it. What the point I'm making is that government may have given a promise that these people are going to be reintegrated. We should wait for the integration package. This xenophobic attack and the plan to evacuate them into Ghana did not start today. It started long ago. So if government does not have a data on the people, has not profiled them yet, it tells me clearly that government does not have any plan for these people beyond the packages we had, the transportation and the reintegration allowance we've had. And I can promise you on this, Bella, we will come back here to have the same discussion, that these people were not properly integrated into the system. So my brother here should tell us the truth. If indeed government has a package for these people, it should be easy to announce the package.
Okay.
It should be very easy to announce.
I have just 10 minutes. I wanted to quickly brush on that.
But unfortunately, that is coming to this conclusion. The young lady that she mentioned that the client also, the client who wanted to enter into the military service. Why? So if government has announced that the people went through some challenges during the recruitment, should be recruited, and if I examine the leaders, you are saying medically, and she's not fit for the military, you are saying that we should compel her to go because president has announced.
But were there caveats? Because if you
listen,
look at what the president said,
exactly, hold it. She is saying this. Anybody who has a protruded, what they call it? Level. Yeah. How is he going to go into the military?
I don't know how.
You know the medical education.
I don't know how that.
And so you didn't even bring that issue up here. If it is the case that the lady is medical and everything fit, and somebody is preventing her from entering the military, they can have a conversation. If by medical, if examining her in her own personal interest, you can speak when I finish. You can, yes, that's your point, argument, that's your point of view. I'm always saying my point of view as well. I'm saying that if the military medical standard, they think that, yeah, the lady might have gone through whatever it is in the past, but if we admit her into the security, it is going to affect her. It can even lead to her death. I don't think that we should say they should do it only because she went through some challenges. Now, the point I'm making is saying that she wants to agree now, and he wants to agree with the South African position that only 10% of the people didn't have documented, blah, blah. See, that is not the argument. People in a distress situation in South Africa,
just before
they must be brought back home.
So what do they mean by protocol recruitment? Because that's what the president said.
Yes.
That all those who were injured or lost their lives during the Elwak stampede should be compensated with protocol recruitment placements.
Yes.
Exactly. So does that not mean that regardless of any challenge?
Your situation,
I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm asking you.
The military is not, it's a specialized place. You have to go through training. They can't just speak into the military and say that, okay, you have a major health condition, but because I've gone to something in the past, protocol, go and sit there, carry the gun. It doesn't work like that.
We'll leave that.
That is not any other profession.
We'll leave that for later. Let's not digress. Let's go back.
It's not only being on the battlefield or being on the ground. There are people that work in the offices. There are people that work.
Who should let her go and die? It's your own headache. It's not my problem. Who should let her go and die? It's your own problem.
Just 30 seconds. Okay,
yes, so that's what you be asking for. That is what you be asking for.
I'm asking you on this show.
Why am I the Ministry of Defense?
Are you not speaking for the NDC?
What are you talking about?
You are speaking for the NDC here.
Please,
the point I'm making is that the people are going through a very distressed situation in South Africa. The first thing you want to do is to rescue them. The first thing you want to do is to bring them home. It's not at that time that they're in distress that you want to now go and profile them, employment. That's not the time to do that. Doc is an immigration consultant, a migration consultant, and she will update the point I'm making. No 20 people are dying. We are here right now. The water is carrying us away. This is the time you want people to come and take pen and paper.
We screen them.
We have screened them. We have that data. It is based on that data that government is telling you that this is a package for them, based on the initial screen that has been done. That's why the package has been announced. Now you ask for the specific, and I'm telling you, in the coming days, government will announce the specific. How is that also too difficult for you to understand?
So
how is that also too difficult for you? Patience.
Doc 2 is saying that we should have had this information out by now. We don't.
Yes, that is Doc's
and I'm sure majority of
when you are not in government, you see things differently. That's the point. When you are not in government, you see things differently.
We're hoping that government eventually will bring out those details, just so that we know exactly what's going on. But very quickly, I don't know if Doc, you want to touch on this. I really wanted to. Okay, well, very quickly, I just wanted to touch on the second topic. We have only 7 minutes for that conversation, but we'll see how much we can do with that. But so the president said protocol recruitment, so even medically unfit people should be recruited. Hey Bella, what are you saying? Derek Crosby, I was just asking a question, by the way. And okay, Bella, please stop this lawyer. I can't stop him. He's here to communicate, by the way. So if she's not medically fit, should she be employed? And also, you're being asked that, lawyer, you're being asked that, should you even be talking about your client's issue on air at this time?
Yes, let me explain. So the rules governing the profession states that you are not supposed to go into the details of the matter. I've not given. What is the details I've given?
You said the person has
no, but that's not going into the details. That's not going into the details. No, this is not going in. This is not even a matter that is before the court.
Well, very quickly. So an audit report on the All Africa Games that happened in Ghana in 2023 has been put out, where we are told that there were some financial irregularities identified and pegged as 580 million Ghana cedis. And the total amount received and spent on the games was 2.25 billion Ghana cedis, even though the outstanding liabilities linked to the games sit at 208.6 million Ghana cedis. It's a 700-page document that has been released. We don't have too much time on this, but just initial remarks on this matter, because we're told that some amount of monies were spent that were not supposed to be spent. In fact, even 15 million Ghana cedis of that money, we're told, was spent on Black Stars when that was not the plan. That should have not been done at that point. And a number of other things as well. Monies that went into renovations, into construction, etc. Some of them were bloated figures. And the question that many are asking is, how should the Auditor General approach this matter? Should they be surcharged, or should we go beyond surcharging to actually prosecute these people? Ross, you have just 2 minutes on this. In fact, 1 minute on this to speak. I'll let Fred speak and then we'll wrap up.
The statement must be made that anytime the Auditor General issues a report, does not necessarily mean that everything that is contained in that report warrants criminal prosecution. That point must be made. And let me give you a very clear example. You remember the Ghana at 50? You remember the Auditor General's report on Ghana at 50? That there were as many as 114 irregularities that were found about the Ghana at 50. Who went to jail for that? Who went to jail? Because subsequently, a commission was put in place. And that commission that was put in place, the revelations that came out explained certain aspects of the report that the Auditor General, at the time that he was issuing that report, did not have the benefit of. You understand? So I have seen this, and in fact, the minister has even issued a report on this whole Auditor General's report. You understand? You should not, and I've seen a lot of commentaries from our brothers from the NDC side, making a lot of commentaries that the NPP only came to power to loot and to, siphon money from the state coffers and all that. This is quite premature. This is an Auditor General's report that has been released. I'm sure it will go on the floor of Parliament, right? Persons will be called to come and answer questions. So it is premature at this stage to even think of surcharging somebody or prosecuting somebody.
It's premature.
It's premature. You don't, and I've given you a clear example on the Ghana at 50 Auditor General report that was issued.
If something wasn't done right in the past, does it mean that we should continue?
But who told you it wasn't done right in the past? A white paper was issued. When a commission of inquiry sits, there is a white paper that is issued. That white paper qualifies as the judgment of a court. And who went to jail for that? Who was surcharged for that?
So if nobody went to jail in the past,
we should be guided. No, hold on. No, that's not the point I'm making.
Okay.
Don't confuse the matter. I'm saying that the fact that the Auditor General has released the report does not give us that conclusive stand that somebody should be prosecuted or somebody should be surcharged. That is the point I'm making, because if that person, in our jurisprudence, we have something called the natural justice principle, where you speak and I speak, then an independent arbiter makes a pronouncement. So this is a report that is coming from the Auditor General. Persons that were involved will be engaged, and they'll be asked to offer explanations as to how come some of the prices or some of the things that went into the expenditure was overblown. Until we get there, nobody should ever think that anybody has engaged in any criminal enterprise or whatever. Let me also make the point that the Minister of Sports was not the only person that was the officer that engaged in this 13th All-African Nations that went on somewhere last 2 years. But the point must be made that when it comes to vicarious liability in criminal matters, it is personal to the individual.
All right,
and nobody can be vicariously accused of a criminal act. So the minister should be seen as innocent, irrespective of the Auditor General's report that has come out. And anything of prosecution must be put aside for now.
I cry for Mother Ghana. You see, when there's wrongdoing, and again, we have to take political stance to defend our own, even when we have not even seen the report. We have not even gone to the report. We have not even. This is the report. I have the 70-page report over here. If you are a Ghanaian and you care about this country and how our resources are used, you'll be worried. You will cry for Mother Ghana. If you look at the state of our sports in this country and the kind of monies we are talking about that were spent on that particular event, it's not the one that we should be talking about, the kind of legalities we are talking about over here. If you read the report very well, go to the summary of the report. Every item, irregularity, of course, of catering services, the amount of money that was spent for catering services, $2.8 million, $1 billion. They stated $1 million. They stated those who are culpable, the former director, and then Dr. Kweku Fosua Saru was the former LOC chairman. If you go to the next issue, overpricing of anti-doping tests, we are talking about close to 72,000 euros. It is there. Those who are culpable, they stated its former director, and then again the LOC boss. Overpricing of accommodation cost. We are talking about overpricing of about $840,000. Again, that place to the stated those. Where the minister was culpable, his name too was mentioned. Overpricing of sports equipment. We are talking about close to about 3.8 million Ghana cedis, dollars. It's also 3.2 million Ghana cedis. It's also stated there. If you come to overpricing of our vehicle branding and de-branding, we are talking to close to about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis. All stated and the people are culpable. We have not read the report. We don't have time to go through all the items that have been raised. I am saying that take your time. The fact that Ghana at 50, we decided to set up a commission. And so after the commission's work, they couldn't take the people back to court to go and try them. Doesn't mean that the same thing will apply in this particular case.
Okay.
And doesn't also mean that no wrong was done during the Ghana 50 time.
All right.
And
It doesn't mean that any wrong.
The fact that the General has put a report out doesn't mean when they were doing the report, they were involved.
Doc, thank you for joining us for the conversation this morning. Dr. Owusu Eshianote. Is it Asia or Eshianote? She's a research fellow, African Institute of Migration and Security Research. Ross Osei Owusu, NPP Coms team member, and Fred Agbenyo, MP for Guan constituency, also a member of the NDC. And to all of you who have been watching us on Facebook, I've seen your messages as well. I cannot read them, but thank you for your message. Some of you are attacking me. What have I done to you? But anyway, Big Issue is sponsored by University of Gold Coast. Well, they're just asking questions. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, then the pathway is open. Apply today, because at the University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. Study around your work and life, choose a route that fits your background, and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure. Your future deserves strategy. Your future and your purpose deserve training. Apply now, www.ugc.edu.gh, or call them 026 388 8555. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for nations. Thank you all so much for watching The Big Issue. You're asking what they're asking me. They say, why did I bring you?
Why did you bring?
That's what they're asking me.
Really?
And a lot of other questions as well. But we'll be back. We have a few of these returnees who will be speaking to us on the show. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is
Day with some sports, and Bilishen from 3 Sports has joined us again and again and again and again. So I can count about 8 of my friends who are in London this weekend.
Oh, nice.
For the parade,
wow,
for the enjoyment,
wow,
for all that the win that Arsenal has garnered, because you guys are the Gunners, right?
Yes, we are the Gunners.
Yes, all the celebration. So this weekend is very busy in London.
Yes.
I don't know what you and I are doing here. Oh. And now we should catch a Friday night flight, yeah? And then Saturday,
You go to
doable.
Budapest first.
Okay.
Yeah, because
what's happening?
we have a Champions League final in Budapest. This Saturday.
Okay.
Then Sunday we'll go back to London and go and celebrate.
Charlie, it's a busy
Quick.
weekend in Europe, man.
Yeah.
But congratulations to you guys one more time.
Thank you very much.
What did you do to celebrate, though?
Oh, did you see my video on social media?
It was just the jubilation.
Oh,
you did something?
We call places.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, that one is coded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very
I
coded.
see. Okay. Since it's coded, we'll just leave it here.
Thank you very much.
And then we'll continue off air.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get into the nitty-gritties. 28-member squad. Is it complete now? Like everybody?
Almost everybody.
Okay.
Almost everybody is there. I
Okay.
think Jonas Ajeti arrived in Ghana yesterday. He should be flying to the UK pretty shortly as well.
Okay.
I think Abdul Mumin and Atizigi have now joined camp as well.
Right.
A number of them have now joined camp. I think
Okay.
like just about 3, 4, 5 people
Okay.
are left to join the camp.
Okay.
But I think apart from that, on the local scene, Mediama
Yeah, I'm
had their
told. Coronation.
Yeah, they had their coronation yesterday. It was a very colorful
Event, huh?
Yeah, ceremony. Had musicians come over, had all the fans also come over to celebrate with the team for winning the Ghana Premier League for the second time in 5 seasons. It goes to show the dominance that they are having on the local scene now. It's really beautiful to see.
Mediama.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they will definitely be playing in the CAF Champions League next season, which is a very big achievement for them.
Okay.
And so, as you can see, the players, they took their medals and then some of them are holding champagne and things.
Charlie, it's celebration, man.
Enjoyment.
Celebration galore.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Congratulations to them. They've done well.
Yeah,
they made all of us proud. By destabilizing the local history that we've had, the usual Asante Kotoko, Hato folk history that we've had, and now they are topping all the charts.
Yeah.
I think they've done well.
Yeah.
Times are really different now, eh?
Yeah, times have changed.
Wow.
I think the last 5 years, we've seen Mediama win it twice, we've seen Gold Stars win it, we've seen Samatex win it, even before Hartlefolk and Kotoko.
Yeah.
So the western side are now showing some dominance in the Ghana.
How are my people doing? Young Apostles.
They are alive.
And then there's another one with a churchy name. No, it's
Basake Holy Stars.
Yes, Basake Holy Stars.
They all survived.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, both of them survived.
So now we have Holy Stars and the Young Apostles.
Yeah.
Akaka, something pastors will come and pass inside.
Yeah.
And Reverends.
Oh, next season you see the BB United.
The BB
Yes.
United.
Yeah.
What is that your team? Is that are you bringing it up?
Oh, me, I like them. But I like Ashanti Good
The
Ufo.
BB United.
I like Ashanti Good Ufo more.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they will
Anyway, let's move on to other things. I saw a video early on 3 Sports, which made me very emotional, but very proud as well. The GFA president has been meeting some parents of our players, and Antoine Semenyo's mom, she's 55, but she looks 18.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's maintained her stature, her fitness and everything, but she looks super good for 55. What was this meeting all about, though?
It was a strategy meeting by the GFA and
Oh, Michael is here.
yeah, and
We miss
parents of
him.
Ghanaian
Players.
based in the UK. Some of them who haven't really grown up to really play football yet.
Right.
So the basis of the meeting is to foster some camaraderie and try and convince these parents that
To play for Ghana?
If their sons have the opportunity to get to the highest level, they should play for Ghana instead of other countries. I think one of the examples cited was Kobe Medu, who is of Ghanaian origin but plays for the England national team.
Right.
He'll be in the World Cup with the England national team, and it's something that you wouldn't want to see, happening with a number of our players of Ghanaian descent. And so Kato Kreku did speak. And then there's Antoine Semenyo's mom, who basically acted as the face of this, speaking.
because her son is on cruise.
Her son
at
is
the moment.
part of the Black Stars. And she's telling other parents to also give their children the opportunity to feature for Ghana when that opportunity comes out.
Playing for your country. It's about blood, it's about legacy, it's about your roots, it's about pride. I'm here today to encourage all the players and their parents here that, trust me, when you play for your country, number one, there are a few things we need to consider here because the kids we raised here are conflicted because there are two nationalities, different cultures as well. And as a parent, your job is, there's a lot of conflict. You're trying to advise. You don't want to come across as pushy. You want to encourage them because they don't see that side you know about. I remember very well when, Anton asked us the question. He says, Mom, do I play for England or do I play for Ghana? And I said, in a heartbeat, you have to play for Ghana. And he goes, but why? Then I didn't have any words, and I went, oh, God, in Ghana, nothing works. And then he was like, if nothing works, why do I have to play for Ghana? And I go, you would feel proud to be part of the Ghanaian journey. Ghana, football in the UK for me is about the boots. But football in Ghana is about blood, it's about pride, it's about legacy, it's about your roots.
Antoine Semenyo's mom there talking about what it means to play for Ghana.
Yeah.
And if you listen to it extensively too, she talks about how it's been for her, especially raising Antoine Semenyo through the different stages of life to this part. Now everybody's praising Antoine Semenyo and happy for him, but what it really took to get him here, only she can understand. And I'm super proud of her. She's done well.
Yes,
she's done well.
She's given us a gem.
Yeah,
so
she's done well.
Of course, definitely happy for her and the family
She's done well.
for what they've done.
She's done
with
well.
Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah, Dela Jebu is her name.
Yeah.
Dela Jebu. Congratulations for raising a king for all of us. Anyway, let's continue. What are we talking about? Which other story should we
in the Black Stars
It's
camp,
a lot, yes.
There's Gideon Mensah who would be probably featuring in the second World Cup. He did speak to the media after a training session, stating that the objective for the Black Stars at this World Cup is to qualify from the group stage before thinking of a deeper run. And then Benjamin Asare, who is still currently the
SM for life,
the number one goalkeeper for the Black Stars, also called for unity in the camp.
Coach Biani in the style of tactical play because as coach Biani will be meeting and as keepers trainer Biani will be meeting. If the keeper be better on any now on Suba better. But I say was a player and I say mentality no the opposite achieving. I say instruction be able to I say ultimate keep on now make you best. Say the bear coach no banana keepers trainer no banana. Wait me and say oh yes you are more intelligent and the opposite we are no better me yes. Never on Suba me anya jide wo. Obia wo jide wo biamu. Say the bakushem na bakutene che say me bompa because team win ya nyina na ya de ya win enu nchire say me number 1 na yesi international na obi nchi ameka say o identity because ye pese team nya gidi ana ye pese Ghana for nya gidi wo yemu say na be abeti maga.
All right, Benjamin Asare, our number one goalkeeper for the moment, SM for life. Well, we'll see what you do for us during the World Cup. But let's close with the El Clasico that
I talked about
yes,
on
that happened between Multimedia and the Media General. Yeah. So we scored 7.
Yes.
7 what?
7-3.
7-3. Yeah. And I'm told Oreku scored a hat-trick.
Yes, he scored a hat-trick.
Do we have the video, guys? Do we have the video?
Oh.
It's Clifford and Shebi.
No, Clifford played, but he played well.
Assist.
He played well.
Did he give any assist?
Oh, he played well. He played well overall, but we lashed Multimedia by 7 goals to 3. Yes.
Congratulations.
Multimedia, they are children.
Charlie, but our coach is trying.
Anderson.
Would he consider taking a job for the Black Stars?
Anderson.
Yes.
I think he will think about it. He will think about it. Definitely.
Okay. Be tabulating his figures for me because I would have to make a case. Anderson there on the screen. Coach. I would have to make a case at the GFA for Anderson. So please keep putting the figures together.
Of course.
I will make a strong case for Anderson to be the coach of the Black Stars, maybe in 2030.
35.
All right, Bilishan, thank you very much. That's about it for sports. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be speaking to some of our brothers and sisters who are finally back home from South Africa. As boarding students, EduPark is here. The Ghana Education Service approved and supported national SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana is now in progress across this country. Now, parents across the country are already registering so that their children's trunk, Macintosh mattresses, pillows, and plastic chopbox will be ready and waiting at their school before reporting day. Now, do not delay and be caught in the usual last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure. No, don't do that. With EduPack, your child does not need to travel to school with all these essential items. To register, just simply dial *713 *821#, or you can visit any ADB branch or go to www.edupack.com. You make payments, you keep your receipts and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPack items. Your EduPack registration follows you to any SHS you are placed in. Now, avoid the stress, avoid the rush, prepare with confidence. All at a very affordable price. EduPack approved and supported by GES. Now, for more information, there are two numbers that you can call: 0500 600 607, 0500 600 607, or you can also call 0302 955 050, 0302 955 050. EduPack, no stress, no wahala. Let's take a break. We'll be back with that conversation with our brothers and sisters from South Africa.
pleasing. Shema Bessia. Ah, oh, very proud. Hey. Yeah. Kwabi urade me say kwabi mi kwabi ka ho ene papa yi su ka ho urade me da say ko fom ai me raku o ma yemre yi mu yina me raku o ma yemre o mu nyina guninde o ma yemre
I'm also doing my work. No, go back and let me. I'm also doing my work. You cannot tell me that this is a place.
Well, as you've all seen on your screens, Ghana has welcomed back nearly 300 citizens evacuated from South Africa following renewed xenophobic tensions. But behind the numbers are shattered businesses, interrupted dreams, trauma, fear, and difficult questions about African unity. We've all been talking about it today. We've been talking about safety and the future of migration on the continent as well. We've been joined by two of the evacuees this morning, Isaac Nketia and Victor Achu Togo. They are here with us in studio to just have a conversation with us as to what it's been like in South Africa and what the expectations are now that they are back home with us, with friends and family as well. You are welcome. No, I should have said you are welcome back.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you been in South Africa, Victor?
Let me put it this way, approximately 16 years.
16 years.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Nketia, also quiet. How long ni?
Me pacho September we no menya 4 years.
September we no when you 4 years. Okay, my mene Victor we na member out. We also be ketwi me boa. Into side no. But Papa we don't know sort of brofo no we should go with the English. What took you to South Africa? Why did you decide to go?
Actually, I was a military man before.
Okay.
And I was part of the national team as a sprinter.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to go to South Africa due to the athletic competition.
Okay.
So in the military, I was the 100 meters record holder. But due to some crisis, I have to leave unceremoniously and go to South Africa and continue my athletic. So that was my dream, actually, to become one of the best athletes in the world.
Okay.
It was not easy for me to enhance on my performances in South Africa due to the challenges and the xenophobia attacks. So these attacks actually happens every year.
So wait, you've been in South Africa for 18 years.
16 to 18
16,
years.
18 years. And you're already saying xenophobic attacks did not make you realize your sporting dreams.
Exactly.
So it means this did not start today or in recent times?
Long time ago. It started, let's say, 2017 thereof.
Yeah.
2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 2020 was the COVID time, but then they were still doing nonsense also. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026 currently. So it's every year. So every year they got a way of doing their xenophobic attack. Like if it's Nigerians, they will attack the Nigerians. If it's Zimbabweans, they attack the Zimbabweans. If it's Malawians, they attack Malawians. If it's Ethiopians, they attack Ethiopians. If it's Tanzanians, they attack Tanzanians. If it's
Mozambicans, they attack Mozambicans. Then from there, they can attack all the country same time. So it's counter attack.
That's what happens.
Yes.
With the
that is the
xenophobic
secret
tensions.
behind. Yeah.
So they decide which particular country to go for.
Exactly.
From what you're telling us.
Exactly.
They decide which country to go for at a particular time.
Yes.
And other times they'll cram all of you together.
Exactly.
Mr. Nketia, Asama Victor Akin or Ayampa. 4 years ago, na we are Ghana and Sana wo Babeko.
Oh, 4 years now. Na many I get transport na ye juma. Na many I get transport na ye juma sa. No kwa minya suspension be kakra nsa meko.
Okay. But then inform me say out of all the countries in the world, South Africa na ko. Then inform me say decision no.
Oh, South Africa and my siblings were.
Okay.
Even my cry alcohol.
Okay.
Ebusuafo me bu ho no. Anya me pe na me de koye.
Okay.
Me bra na be fa me koye.
Nti na ebusuafo e wo ho. Eno kra na ema na easy mouse ene ma me ko South Africa. Okay. Victor, were you documented?
Yeah, of course, yes. I was documented, but the time the document got expired, that is where the challenges started. Because for you to renew it, you need to pay a lot of money. And even to pay, you will pay, but yet still you have to be in the queue for so many years again before your document will come out.
When you arrived in South Africa, how long did it take for you to get documented? And what was the process?
Actually, I had opportunity through a friend of mine who works in the company. Okay. So he uses his company to document me.
Okay.
And now that the document expired, Home Affairs were delaying the documentation. So apparently I can't go out due to the immigration law.
Okay.
So once you go out and you get arrested, you go to jail.
So you couldn't go out?
I was not going out.
For how long?
The only place I can go is like just a short
stone
distance.
throw?
Yeah, just a stone throw.
Like to the corner shop to just get something real quick?
I have to ask someone to buy me food or something. Because if I get arrested, how will I work? What will I do? What will I eat? And what will I use to pay my rent?
Okay.
You understand? So life there was very, very tough. Very, very tough.
Okay. And how long did it take to regularize your documents? Was it ever regularized even?
The document came, that was this year.
Just this year?
The time I had wanted to leave, that is when the document came, but now it's too late.
So all these years, what have you been doing?
I used to go to friends and do some piece job.
Okay.
Like piece job, like, do you have something for me to do? Then they'll say, yeah. Then I'll do it, then they'll pay me instantly.
So
and I'll go home.
On the table when you take, or like under the tabletop
payment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So officially you couldn't do any business anymore.
I also started doing Uber, which was 2018, and I got hijacked 2019, 2nd December, and I got shot.
So you are the guy who says you've got a bullet in your back?
Bullet in my spine, yeah.
Make us understand.
Okay.
Were you taken to the hospital when the hijack happened?
Yes, I was not taken to the hospital because those guys, they said I've seen their faces. So there's no way they could allow me to leave. So they have to kill me on the spot. So they ended up by shooting me, and after I got shot, I fell down. I went blackout. And all of a sudden, I came back again, and I realized that I'm still alive after some few minutes. Then I had to run with the bullet, and I was busy looking for a garage. A garage is the filling station.
Yes, garage. Yeah, they call it garage, yeah.
Yeah, so I was running, looking for a filling station. Luckily enough, I found a filling station, and I asked them to call ambulance for me, and they did call the ambulance. And as soon as the ambulance came, I called it the tracking force. But it was too late. They've already taken out the tracker.
Oh, they had taken the tracker out of the car.
Yes.
So they made away with the car?
Yeah, they went with the car.
Okay. So medically, you received attention right from the ambulance.
Yes.
Did they take you to the hospital?
They took me to the hospital. But according to the doctor, he said it's a miracle, and she can't take that bullet out. She's sorry for that, but I can live with it after taking the scan.
Okay.
Yeah, she said it's a miracle. I must even go home and buy some 3 eggs and drink on top.
No, so medically, make us understand.
Yes.
Is it the position of the bullet that is so tricky that they cannot remove, or I need to understand that part.
She said where the bullet went through, it has already, it's stuck there.
Okay.
It's stuck in between the spine.
Right.
And the way it is very dangerous for her to pull it out.
Okay.
So according to her, it's one of the greatest miracles. She still don't understand.
Because she should have been dead a long time ago.
I should be supposed to be sitting in the wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
Exactly.
You are a walking miracle.
I'm telling you, one of the greatest of all times.
But did you seek a second opinion as to if they'll be able to remove the bullet, or you've been able to live with it?
I'm okay.
So you don't feel anything in your back?
No pain, nothing. Even after 3 days, the wound got healed. And then 7 days, I started walking.
Victor.
I'm telling you.
You are really victorious.
Yeah, that's my name, the Conqueror.
Wow. I see.
Of course. I'm a living testimony. I'm a living testimony. I can't lie to you.
Intimacy, Ketia, asama ye ken. Also now, what it is, na air cost was South Africa ho. And so now also baby experience also there now what it is.
Na me tete South Africa they born in dos mo ho. Born in dos.
Kebichire.
Born in dos because the ho no be di obi born kra na wa wo be hu. Na ukoka. They say obi di born. Papa we di born na me pe na me wa ha na me hu.
O so twem.
Me twem na me yimeni na odi born ni wie na echire omo be chi na. Ne nkrofo beba me so.
Beba also.
Yes.
Enti boni ne koso no dia wo se wudwane kra fa baby kra.
Camera capture kra na police for no mo beba be your interview aye nyom be. Wo nipa civilian. Wo koka bibi. Mami, we wie ya no ye betumi ahye we busuafo nyina ase.
Enti asemi a okay. Eye brono bi so na eye sisi wo South Africa na ye ewo bebia.
Ewo bebia. Ewo bebia.
Ewo Johannesburg. Ewo Cape Town, wo Durban.
Ewo bebia.
Pretoria.
Yo. Ewo bebia.
Okay. Now so asemi na to.
Me de ne to me ne se oba na me ne wo me ne nya kasa kakra ma me to me sabon.
Okay.
Na me siblings on be fa me koye wo ne me wo sa de no. Se me njai sa de no. Me krum kra me say ye fa ensan kan oba. Ade no be mine so. E me ko so etu aso bi ensan tin third time na etu aso no.
Oh, Mr. Nketia. Otu sabon no emprensa.
Ense no credo kan wa free.
Eno de waka. O basanka wanya di o wana meboa.
Eno kren so akoma sometimes akoma no sorry sa no wan hye won so a. Be oba ni ma bebre won se later no na we no hu. So waye. Enti eba ne sa no omo assist oba no e ko report me. John report me later no kra asem ko court no e na oba no e ko twen asem no. E also mo jame no afi krata asem no di so mi mu.
Ba oni oba no wo ho no oba ne ye nkrata ma o.
Dabi ono owoni asalam o yusu. O Ghana ni.
Enti no on ye nkrata mpo e ma o. Ene weni e den dia obi a woni nkrata na otototo sabo oba sa no. Enti yedu call police station a osan ba efie no.
Yedu me call police station man ba fie bi mu. Yedu me call police station no. Echimi 2nd August.
Okay.
2nd August.
Year ben
2025.
Last year.
Last year.
Okay.
Until 2025 after 48 hours no processing me to court. Into court no up and down sana abayo no ko twa asem ni mu.
Okay.
Nti o twa asem no afi papers no mdi holding say me ni paper me o papers dey anka omo jai me.
Onye documented
and no my lawful
citizen.
What you say my overstay.
Unsem do so. Wa overstay. Wa wakobo oba. Wa woni adwuma bia ye. Ene se van ya ye hu se ye Ghana fo ebia sisi firi mu se ye de wakohoda.
Yeah, say Lindela. Me
Honya de.
Yo.
Honya fe enya de. Na si prison bi anya de wana jail bi anya de.
Eho nko anka police station any prison. Okay, see eho a danger zone.
In Nindela ho na mo ka no.
Eho a danger zone.
Ade de na yesi wo ho de na ma ho dangerous.
Hey. One. Police says although say insurance untumi yusu insurance enjare. Prison there utumi yetumi nua insurance edudware. But eho light ni ho. Eduane aye din so eduane ne nya kra. Anopa ebe ma okoko ene nkwan. Koko ne nkwan brodo nka ho.
Koko ne nkwan se dire na obenum first.
Say ye di amount. Ebi mutumi di bom na ados because eso.
Na oni ma dia mempe obo say eduane no ho. Omo de duro gom.
Ye de drogu koko ne nkwan no mu.
Na sebita flat wo ye be ma we na nya adwuma biom.
Entumi sorry.
Any say ye twa wo so a no.
Gradually.
Asama muke TV3 so ne wo mu betumi a confirm say ne muke no correct.
Serious. I mean if you
want we would disassociate ourselves from it oh.
No.
Aye no correct.
Ye dey no be crowd.
Sir?
Obi amede 16 to 18 there. Me least mistake na one day me PA na me no wish. Me no quote for sham say me wu. Where is your paper? Me say no, I left my paper in the house. I'm say no, follow us. And one no. And no time ebe eye to let me dem for 1 week. So 1 week I say 1 year mama. 1 year almost the papers no buy na or some san chiaka. No yi me fi a jail hall. Madam, I want you fair. I want you. We now session B. Session B, D4.
Different sessions, sound or Session D. Until who A the night is a better scene D nana.
No, I want no better. Just a die no. You teacher blocks no.
I said me bisa because A decline. It be a B C D no. A.
Eduane anopa breakfast ye kojin 8 na 8 no kiwa obedi mu no ansa waje eduane.
Because nipa no doso.
Say Malawi for Zimbabwe, nearby countries.
Mozambique.
Yo, Lesotho fu nyina ho. Nti no, ansa na obedi queue ye be bio 8 o'clock abakwa kwaji eduane na 10 abo. Obedi breakfast na 10 abo.
Nti time na nyumredia no so baba.
2 o'clock.
Ewia?
Ewia 2.
Okay.
Na ebie mu na mo san kwa kwaji eduane. Na so queue amobeye. Queue. Nti eno no kwa pap, ye be mam pap.
Paga.
Paga na ye dade.
Eduane se okwa di paga.
Paga.
Papa na media minim. Ya se banku fita no.
Omo attempts ma eduane.
Apole no
paga.
Nti eduane no 2 no kwa ye kwaji eduane na kiu musa na waje. Ye be ma pap no ene nkwan ene beans be 6 bi wom. Utumi kan beans no. Na ya say ma brodo.
Beans a grain no.
Six simple the same
1 2 3 4 utumi kind of 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Six simple the na doso.
Betumi aka. E na eduane send eduane so te no. Omo eduane no. Se o pese o ton obetumi aton ama obi.
O pese obedi a.
Obeton.
Obetumi aton ama obi won Ndela ho.
To unum cigarette na obetumi de eduane na ama no waje cigarette.
Wow.
Also, the anyama is opa.
And yes, to say there's criminal activity even one in Dela Honum. Not me patch video be a show TV news let's play the video. So we've been having a conversation with Victor and Isaac, who are returnees from South Africa amidst the xenophobic tensions. They've been describing how life has been for them. Unfortunately for Isaac, he was married to a South African. Unfortunately, you're Ghanaian. On your South African, Auntie no seek asylum. No, okay. All right. So he was married to a Ghanaian, but had domestic issues with her. Unfortunately, beat her up about 3 times. Ended up in police custody, but because of non-documentation, he was kept from August 2025
to November 18th.
Till November 18th, 2025, when you were allowed to go scot-free.
No, I don't come for a lawyer.
Okay.
Me for a lawyer. Or Jimmy 8,000 rand.
Really?
Yeah, and some not starting process. And the process not starting me man 4,000. Just you we are not waji balance 4,000.
No nyawe.
say na edwuma na me ye no na me savings na me ye wo
nti na around kakra wo ho a utumiri tu a lawyer no
me savings ne wo na me sie scam.
So what was the process like then utumi kakra one say no oyi we film because I'm interested na video we na why den wa ha
ahanum say no nkofo no bo me un say
nyabotre ewa Lindela ho no
no aha nya Lindela
enti aha ye he
aha ye shop baby am ye adwuma o Mamelodi e Pretoria no mo hwehwe me because omo bo me man fa me trim serious omo bo me pa enti na me nso mebusuafo hwehwe me omo hu baby am wo
because of lady na wo bo no no
enyo no issue no dey say me
enti we dey na wa ye wa
aha no say no me feel Lindela me pie ye no aha me feel Lindela me pie ye no shop we na me ba be ye adwuma wo mu
Jesus
ohu me trim nyina
ai
shop we na me ba be ye adwuma wo mu November no 18th November me pie no 20th na me start say me ye adwuma wo hanum say enti shop na me ye adwuma wo no me beto Ghana ni bi wo ha na me ne ye adwuma
okay
na on say ho no me adwuma no eya etai eham e wo client ho
okay
so tias e bia me na me enti mu ye adwuma na mama antias an ba adwuma ni ma tembi ya mo beko e wo client ho ho enti me ne eham wo client ho almost 2 times enti the third time no na boss ne buy no chere me say no me ye den on to me ne me ye adwuma bio enti me nko because boy no on me kasa to the nonsense degree say one day man hwe ne ya ne obey me na me say me ye entreten me o me ye very strong guy ye entreten me na me wo ya me kun straight because adwuma na me ba be we ye na edumi so na me ya e was so ma me yi ade na on me pre o client o ye nyina ba say ba be pesca on kwa na o pesca na enti nipa no de me ma me boss na me ne ye adwuma o Mamelodi ho no me ye audio man no say ni say na boy na san aye enti o mo ne nkasa na me san ye the same audio e ma me boss no obi ama me reply na me boss na me ye adwuma me ne ye adwuma no ne yere abagana 1 week time ansa na obeba no na nia owo Eastern Cape Grahamstown na me ne ye adwuma no wakeka me ho nsem a kire sister no poto e wo Ghana hanum say me kura no me kobo oba nsem bebre enti sister no ba na je say I say ono no we yi me to but me no enye bone na me kodi ye me ne me ho sister ne ba na je say o ma wa say ho no kura enti ne kunu so ba no say no sa net dia o mo ntumi ne me ye adwuma biom enti me ye da me nko
okay enti kasa kakra na esi wo say the Babylonia if I was like Mamelodi ho no
na me de call enti we me de call Limpopo me fi ho call Limpopo ko ye adwuma ho e ho rural area na emfa ti se bebia na me wo no enti me san free ho no e ko Polokwane
okay
le palale
wo fa
mabreo
wa fe mu enye easy ma okra na enti fa na sa attack we see ye bro no so
attack we esi wo Tembisa
yeah ben na nsen ya
esi me hwe 3 months ago
na eno de ne see ye
we na me chese me suspecting crofo bi some person mu wia obi car
okay
wahu enti ase me ma police for signal
omu hu sa wo frɛ police
me man frɛ police so ase me ma say me share mami you see every ex convict be a hero Ghana hanum say mako prison pen South Africa so mako prison pen Ghana hanum say prison no money numbers South Africa prison any foreign countries e bi ho no more numbers you 26 any 27 any 28 gangs omo nyina wo prison sa gangs ni nyina into 26 no 26 ni
gang for number
sign ni 26
oh dear kwade ye hia be 7 days na ye no akasa na waka ne esi ye nyina because unfortunately anope ye anytime e wo TV3 Newday na mesre me bisa o mehu sa wunsa ba ko etwa eno nso e
me nsa we ni de kaka be ye me
okay
nti kaka ne ye me na ho
okay
nti me de call clinic no na nurse ni etwemu no since day one no twemu no nsuo na efi mu ba nyina na kan be 1 week me call dressing be at the same center
Mr. Ewa Ghana ha na
no South Africa
okay
South Africa me kona me inside right me inside
now of musani nyina was complete
nti no say salon adwuma sometime me shed die ni me ye adwuma ya me nya all the time na ya me share gloves nti no me san be ho ye na doctor nurse ni twemu no be 1 week time dressing ni nyina na still me te impampa na first day enye and am chance on refer me to hospital into me hospital na doctor ni hu me no say no o Nigeria ni na doctor ni say me nsa no okay o de beto antibiotics drip no.
Okay.
Odimbeto so.
Enti no ne kwakra ne se won sane de enye xenophobic attack ni tina.
No, no, me san kaka no omo try.
Ye beka eno ho asem later. But ye mama ko aba. Eba Ghana enra na mo bedru ye meboa na mo ba e de aduane na mo di first. Victor, what did you eat first?
I ate. They welcome me with jollof rice. Hey. My favorite.
Okay. Now also Isaac was
eating plain rice.
Unya plain rice. But say unya fufu bi anke.
Me benku kura na me pe.
Benku. And nobody benku. Why? And nobody benku. Now, enti mo be Victor, what's the way forward? What next?
First and foremost, I would like to thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and I would also like to thank the Ghana High Commission in South Africa, His Excellency Benjamin Kofi Kwashi. And I also want to thank Ibrahim Mohammed for their tremendous, extremely exceptional work done for us, because it's not quite easy for us. And they've thought of us, and then we believe that whatever they have promised, they will surely deliver.
Okay, so you believe that
believe.
Whatever package government has promised, Ombe deliver.
Yes,
Amao.
True.
Isaac,
Mami.
Just say one sakra de oh. It is say no when you are doing sakra kakra about abrabo because sana me redo no when isu ehye kakra Ghana ha wako prison wako be or South Africa or ati say endra me hu say you posti wo social media man for epel vim na wo de aba no nsema tutu bebre ba wo se ni nyina wo de ache de akono enko nti wa be ye be there was the way forward wo be there
sisi anyankopon ayamaduma me pese me fi ha me ko DVLA
ene
yeah definitely
okay there
me
when you juma ho
me ko renew me se omo wia me bibia
okay
me ni even Ghana card me ni me Ghana card nti pese me ko na me ko ye me driving license ni me sign a retrieve.
Okay. Until when you're driving a Jumani bioma, Obesan, no na wash say, what be dear. Now, what home mamma no papa de?
Minya home mommy.
Okay. Omo crase, and Omo craha.
Me mammy war Eastern region, a monochrome.
Okay.
And I'm papa was enough.
Mate, say there or say upon TV, so by we are basing at Tanasi, near Bon Comona, Akano. I've been speaking with Isaac in Ketia. As well as Victor Achu Togo. They were part of the 297 returnees from South Africa yesterday. We are expecting a lot more, over 600 of them. We'll keep an eye on it and bring you all the updates. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. We'll continue the conversation. Let's just take a musical break. We'll come back to wrap up. All right, I think we should just get straight into birthdays now. We don't have a lot of time. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. I think Papa Rose sent me, yes. Happy birthday to my son, Air Marshal Michael Comey Seblo Akrobotu of Hydson School, East Legon Hills, Accra. It's from your mom, your dad, Ajo Sesi, and Kobla. Happy birthday to you, Michael Comey. Also, let's continue with Mavis Obaya Asari. Happy birthday to you. You're here. Oh, Mavis, newsroom. Happy birthday to you, darling. Okay, let's also celebrate. Who's next? Who's next? Who are we celebrating? Who are we celebrating? Okay, I think we're having a challenge with all the celebrants. We'll continue tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of our programming.
For delay papa if yes Sabre was Zinkofi a Gold Coast idol na ye pipape nya hwe ni obeti ni tie mu